We are inside Madison Square Garden set for our first fight tonight. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And look at the age difference, 42 to 27. Salgado, much older than McKenna.
Here is Michael C. Williams with the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Tonight, Miller Lite presents Bellator MMA, where we kick off the prelims now with 3 5-minute rounds at 169 pounds. Introducing the blue corner first, at 5'10", weighing in 168.2 pounds. His professional record, 4-7-1. He fights out of Brooklyn, New York. Introducing John Greco Salgado. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 168.8 pounds. As a professional, early on, he stands at 0-1. He fights out of New York, New York, presenting Hugh McKenna. In charge of the action, referee Dan Mergliata.
So Dan Mergliata, our referee, as John Salgado and Hugh McKenna get us started inside the Mecca.
All right, you ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Salgado with the blue gloves, McKenna with the red gloves, and here we go. Salgado, the southpaw, and McKenna with the first kick.
Watch your thumb.
Theme we're going to see a lot tonight is nerves. How do they control it? These guys are early in their careers fighting at Madison Square Garden, big lights. The fighter who's relaxed is the guy who has the advantage.
Second professional fight for Hugh McKenna, fighting in his backyard. You know, so much focus, Jimmy, goes on Bellator 180 in the pay-per-view, but this is special as well for these two young men.
The reason is every fight is an audition. When you're making your way up, every fight is an audition. You want the promoters to remember you. You want to get back here again.
Let's see who really engages first here.
Now McKenna's the one so far taking the center, trying to keep Salgado on the outside, but Salgado doing a good job of sticking and moving. He's not staying in one place.
McKenna trying to cut off the cage here. Little slip there by both men. Oh, right hand though, Jimmy. Nice knee. And again.
Remember now, putting that hand to the ground ain't gonna save you. A lot of controversy around that recently.
McKenna trying to establish a clinch here. And a good job done so far. A couple of knees land.
This is the part of McKenna's strategy. He's always kept Salgado against the fence. This is a position he's wanted. Back against it. Good clinch, throwing knees, taking with the legs of Salgado.
Both men trying to deliver from this position.
Going for the guillotine, but doesn't have his hips activated.
And he's taken down right into side control.
Yep, rookie mistake. Hips aren't activated, guillotine's not gonna help you. Just makes it easy for the guy to take you down. Nice mount.
Not a good spot right here for John Salgado.
And he's hanging onto the head, that's a bad idea. He wants to free up and start moving. You're not gonna guillotine a guy from there.
And the head's free as well.
Now, if you're McKenna here, you wanna slow it down. Take the energy out of your opponent, make them struggle knowing they're not gonna get out. You don't want to go too crazy right when you get a dominant position.
Trying to posture up and throw down some ground and pound. Tough for Salgado to control McKenna from this position. Really tough.
The problem is right now he's just hanging on with his arms. He wants to be mobile, has to move, use the hip escape.
McKenna staying really heavy, Jimmy.
Yep, when you're in bad position, that's where you don't want to hang on. You want to be moving as much as you possibly can. And I'm telling you, being under there, full mount, even if you don't land that big shot, man, it's fatiguing being under there. It takes all of your energy.
Big elbow. McKenna, very good control after the takedown.
Yeah, no submission attempts yet, not trying to rush anything. He's content to stay on top of Salgado, take his energy away, and land those short shots. Minute 30 left. It's a lot of time. When you're mounted, it's forever. Trust me.
Right? Scott Salgado pinned up against the cage now.
He's going Kimura, turning to a straight arm.
Go to cage shot.
He's trying to finish, but he's really got to commit his hips. Now going back to the Kimura, but in order to really finish that, he has to hop over into side control, just like that. He's going to try and really crank it. He's in good position.
You scream out, I'm going to tap.
It is all over! Hugh McKenna with the finish.
That's what you talk about with patience. You don't go crazy. You let them struggle. You let them wear themselves out. Then you go for it. Good maturity for only a second fight.
Dan Miragliotta said, scream if you wanted to stop, or tap, I'm right here. And there was the tap.
Two bad options. You can scream or you can tap. It's not what you want to hear when you're in a Kimura.
That's an excellent point. Here's our Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay. The bold, 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core. Let's start with the takedown, Jimmy.
Yeah, beginning of the end here. Went for the guillotine, didn't have his hips behind it. Easy takedown, and what I liked, not just the mount transition, but the patience. Get the slam, he doesn't immediately go to mount, he takes his time, and once he had mount, took his time again. Kimura, no way he was getting out of this. Dan Miragliotta all over it. You see the tap? Great stuff by Hugh McKenna. Look at this step over. Nice and high, doesn't let Salgado pull him back into half guard. Stays right inside control, and the referee, you knew it, I knew it. It was just a matter of time. Scream or tap. Either way, this fight's about to be over.
And there's the tap and a victory for Hugh McKenna.
That's something Hugh McKenna's going to remember for a long time. I fought at MSG and I won. It's a great feeling.
First round submission victory for Hugh McKenna. To make it official, here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a Kimura. Official time, 4 minutes, 6 seconds into round number 1. The winner by submission, Hugh McKenna.
Official time, 4:06 of round number 1. Congratulations, Hugh McKenna. Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Dave & Buster's. The only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
This one went viral. Sergio Da Silva trying to fool the scale, only putting 1 foot on it. Didn't help him. Missed weight by 7 pounds. That could be a big difference in the fight.
To Michael C. Williams.
Presented by Miller Lite Bellator MMA from the Garden. Now presents 3 500 pounds at 138 pounds. Introducing the blue corner first at 5'7", weighing in 137.6 pounds. His professional record stands at 6-8. Originally from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now fighting out of Queens, New York. Presenting Sergio the Savage Da Silva. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 133.6 pounds as a professional. Impressive, with 9 victories, just 2 defeats from Levittown, PA, presenting Matt Razor Sharp Rizzo. In charge of the action, you're refereeing Big John McCarthy.
Big John McCarthy, our referee. For this matchup between Sergio Da Silva and Matt Rizzo.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? Let's get it.
Here we go. Fight Clock, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time.
Case to me might be 2 guys who have a lot of faith in their ground games. Matt Rizzo, 9 wins, 7 by submission. Sergio Da Silva, though, product of Novignon, trains with the former bantamweight champion Marcos Galvão. He has a lot of confidence in his jiu-jitsu as well.
Blue gloves for De Silva, red gloves for razor sharp Matt Rizzo. Rizzo, those 9 wins, 7 by submission, as Jimmy talked about. 6 victories, just a couple of submissions for the Savage, 31-year-old Sergio De Silva.
There's a giveaway. Whenever you have USA Wrestling tattooed anywhere on your body, you're going for the takedown quick. Easy giveaway.
Yeah, that's even easier than the ears.
Hey, ears could be jiu-jitsu, could be judo, could be a lot of things.
There you go. Thank you. Just back
There you
me
go.
up.
See?
I like this.
That's what I do for you, buddy.
This is going to work
Welcome
out.
to Bellator. Welcome to Bellator.
Much,
I'm very
Mr.
gracious.
Smith, sir. This is going to be good.
There's that pressure game. The wrestler coming in, even if he can't get the takedown, just putting physical pressure on De Silva, who tends to start out quickly but tends to fade later on in fights. And that's been his weakness so far in Bellator.
Really trying to force it in early.
And this is one of those things where, from our vantage point, from what we're seeing it, it's hard to decide who's using the most energy. I mean, he's putting a lot of weight on De Silva, putting him against the fence. He's a wrestler. He's used to that kind of position. Now, is De Silva pushing back with everything he's got, or is he hanging back, letting Rizzo burn up more gas? Hard to see from here. He's definitely winning the round. He's the aggressor.
We do know one thing. This is a grueling way to fight. We always talk about that. Man, this is a battle.
Going for the inside trip, can't get it.
And you hear one of the corners say, nice and calm, nice and calm.
Exactly. They know how much gas you can burn in these positions. Finally has good double leg head position.
Trying to get it.
Yep. Let's see that underhook. That's what's preventing the takedown. Nice underhook by De Silva.
And a couple little punches to the head, too.
That was a BJ Penn special against the fence. He'd always find that underhook against bigger guys. Would always save him.
Baby J fighting tomorrow. Best of luck to my buddy.
Good
And
takedown.
right back up.
Couldn't keep him there.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's the leg.
Whoa. McCarthy said it's good.
Therefore, it's good.
Therefore, it's good. John tells you to go to sleep, turn off the TV and go to sleep. You turn off the TV and you go to sleep.
When he says license and registration, you give him your license and registration.
He did that for over 2 decades.
Still got that voice, man.
Punches to the midsection, thrown by Matt Rizzo. You're right, Jimmy. It's hard to tell which guy is gaining momentum or not, or position or not. Back and forth.
Yeah, when it comes to the energy, rolling for a knee bar. That's a Marcos Galvão specialty. He's putting weight on that left leg, and he's out.
He's got the back.
Yep, Rizzo's in a good ride position here. No hooks in, almost has what we call a crab ride in wrestling. Now one hook in.
Trying to get the other.
Yeah, this is not where De Silva wanted to be. Suddenly went high and gave it up. Good scramble.
Good escape by Sergio De Silva. Just under a minute on the clock here in the first round.
Now Rizzo wanting nothing to do with the striking, still persistent with the takedown. Now he's got to watch the front chokes.
Yep. De Silva with a good sprawl, good takedown defense.
Now you hear his corner saying, got to attack from there. I think he's behind in the round. Rizzo's been the aggressor so far. Oh, going for the anaconda, not in a good position to get it though. It's a Darce choke from that angle.
20 seconds.
And he gave it up. Trying to get around the guard, but I don't think he's going to have time, especially with that fence in the way.
De Silva gonna end this round on top.
There you go. Good job.
Right here against the fence. Putting pressure on. Looked like a cup shot to me.
I don't want to get yelled at by John.
But John was right on top. It's a lot closer than we are. And here's where De Silva got in so much trouble. One hook in, and he went high. It was a good job by Rizzo bailing out of that position, not getting pulled over the top. Good fighter knows when it's done.
Then you can start moving him. Use your jabs. If he tries walking you down, use your jabs and follow with low kicks. Jabs when he starts walking at you. Great job, man.
Close first round, Jimmy. Who do you give it to?
I give it 10-9. Matt Rizzo, he was the aggressor a little bit more. That's why he has it on my scorecard.
Ready? Get up.
Round 2. Red gloves for Rizzo, blue gloves for De Silva, and they meet in the center of the cage immediately.
Between rounds, De Silva's corner said stay behind the jab. Use your feelers a little bit more. He's rushing in too much. Good double leg position. He's got it.
Again, De Silva wants nothing to do with stand-up tonight.
All he's done is throw maybe 1 or 2 strikes to get that setup for the takedown. And this is a lot earlier than he got the takedown in the last round. Got over 4 minutes to work. That's a long time. And Rizzo staying active with that butterfly, looking for triangle. Rule of thumb, wrist control means triangle, elbow control means armbar. And he immediately went to control that wrist.
De Silva doing exactly what his corner said. Come out big, come out early, explode. Knowing that, as you said, Jimmy, they may have lost round 1.
Rizzo using that butterfly guard, feet on the hips, not going for closed guard. Just trying to keep active with that guard.
De Silva trying to advance.
Yeah, I like what De Silva's doing with the pressure, though. He's always worrying about that sweep. Very active with the lift, very active with the butterfly guard. Good balance so far by De Silva.
Yep, making it very difficult on Matt Rizzo.
What that does, whenever someone has butterfly or feet on the hips, it's hard to put physical pressure on them. It's almost like being on top of an exercise ball. You're kind of floating. You're not really putting all your pressure where you want it. And without pressure, without stability, it's hard to get your ground and pound around.
Push up, don't
Walking up
grab.
looking for the arm. He's looking for the right arm of Sergio De Silva. If he can get that leg over his face, he got it. Silva being smart, pulls that shoulder out. Still in danger of a triangle if Rizzo can change his hips around. Still in armbar position though. That halfway, that right arm is kind of in, kind of out. So Rizzo has triangle and armbar options. Silva's got to square up and pull that shoulder out. Left it behind again. Wow. Yep.
He's got the top control, if you will, and it's actually Rizzo who's doing a great job from the bottom.
Now there's an omoplata set up there. If he can turn and really angle his hips away from the cage.
Don't forget to keep up with Bellator across all social media platforms. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at hashtag Bellator MMA and Snapchat at Bellator Nation.
There's a knee bar right there if he leans back and steps over. And you see how Rizzo saw it, triangled his legs. Very awkward top position right now for De Silva.
Don't grab it, Matt. Don't grab it, Matt.
Talking about don't grab the fence.
Inverted heel hook right there.
Again, active from the bottom, razor sharp Rizzo.
Problem is it makes this round really hard to score.
Yep.
Rizzo now trying to pop back to his feet, put some pressure on De Silva.
Rizzo ended round 1 on top, and now he's got the mount, now the back. Little both, Jimmy.
Nice, he settles down to full mount. Just like our first fight, plenty of time left, over a minute.
De Silva couldn't advance, Rizzo does. Got the back, looking to finish. Can he get it?
Went to the power half Nelson to kind of open him up. Body triangles, a mess to get out of.
And he's got it on the good side.
Silva right now in survival mode, trying to protect his neck, but Rizzo's going for it. It's on the chin, though. Not underneath the chin yet.
De Silva pointing that finger at Big John, saying, I'm okay right now, I'm okay. See if he can continue to punish him. On top, 20 seconds now, Jimmy.
See how he kept the body lock and kept that same lock into mount. That's a hard thing to do.
Rizzo spent a ton of time, big shots on the bottom in the second round, but finishes with a strong performance.
This is how the round ended, where you don't want to be. Your opponent on your back. De Silva defending the rear naked choke. Was able to keep it above the chin, but ate some punches, was in a bad position last couple minutes of that round. In a very close round, up until that point, he gave up bad position, and Rizzo never let him off the hook. Great transitions from back mount to full mount. Good stuff so far from Matt Rizzo.
Everything you have.
Jimmy, Rizzo up 2 rounds to none.
I have him up 2 rounds to none, both 10-9.
10-9 it is. Third and final round. There's that takedown attempt immediately.
It's always a bad sign when a guy with a wrestling background gets the takedown without that second and third effort, without that burst of gas he needed to use 2 or 3 times. If he can go in, get it tight down, he's got a lot of energy left for his ground and pound, for his top control. You always want to make him work and get that second effort in. Even if you get taken down, got to make him work for it. And that was too easy.
When you say too easy, I think about white men can't jump.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Outstanding.
Yes,
perfect
too
effort.
easy.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Too easy.
Phil Davis and Ryan Bader, they talked about that. It was like, oh, they got the takedown, but he always gives that second, third effort like a high-level wrestler does.
Right.
That's a big difference between the elite level and the guys who are just starting out. The elite level guy will shoot 2, 3 times, never let you off the hook.
A guy like a Josh Koscheck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got NCAA titles, you shoot 2 or 3 times.
Yes, you do.
Trying to transition, but you see De Silva doesn't have the energy he had in round 1. He's right now behind in the scrambles. Good pressure by Rizzo.
Watch where it's at, Matt. Don't hit the back of the head.
De Silva needs to push the pace big time here. 3.5 remains in this fight.
Stand up. Now stand up. Go. Control that hand. Stand up. Control his hand. Stand up. That's cross defense. Go on top. Look at the torque on his elbow. Look at the torque. You're out of here. Come on, man.
Unorthodox position here, kind of like a crucifix. He has both arms strapped and a leg. You don't see that very often.
Start by getting that leg free. You get your leg free right now. Get your leg free. Get your leg free.
Silva's the one who has to explode. Remember, on my scorecard, it's 2-0.
Absolutely.
You never want to be in a position where your opponent doesn't have to work as hard as you do. A nice transition to get on top. Took a risk and it paid off.
You want your head near that cage. Get your head near the cage.
So he's got side control.
And this is one of those positions you want your opponent away from the cage. You don't want him pushing off with his legs.
Pull him away right
Yes.
now. Got the back.
You see all these transitions, Rizzo's just a half step ahead of De Silva.
Now let's see if De Silva can get some hooks going. He's got one. Looking to get that second hook in.
Now Rizzo's got one in, but wants to put that left one in. De Silva's trying to defend it. Doesn't work. He lets it go to transition to body triangle. Had both hooks in, prefers the body triangle. A lot of long-legged guys like that.
Yep.
I got short legs. Hurts my ankles.
Phil Davis is a guy who...
Oh, my God. Freak.
Body triangle 101.
He'll reach over your back and grab your wrist.
He's
when
an
we
honor
grapple.
student. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
He was one of those guys before we grappled, all his teammates went, don't let him reach over your back and grab your wrist. I was like, he can do that? I said, yeah. I said, all right. Arm triangle trouble. He was trying to fight it, but he's in bad shape. He was holding onto his ear, using the defense. Talking on the phone is the way to prevent that pressure, but he let it go.
Shots to the body.
The question is, how much is Rizzo going to commit to it? Good job transitioning. Not quite inside control.
And it's all over. Nicely done. Matt Razor Sharp Rizzo.
You know what I like seeing? I like seeing a guy who's in great position, has the scorecards, and says, you know what? I'm going for the finish. I'm not just staying on top. I'm seeing if I can finish this fight. I like seeing that in a young fighter.
Oh, baby, every day. Level top PA, what's up, baby?
Because I think he could have stayed in that position, milked the clock, gone out with the win by decision. That wasn't good enough.
Take a look at our Black Card Premium Spiced Rum Replay. The bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Now, all of this is bad for Sergio Da Silva. His arm is trapped, full mount. The other arm is against his neck in arm triangle position, and look at the pressure of Rizzo. This has become really popular recently. They don't go all the way over to side control. It's kind of a half mount where they can really crank on that sucker, and that's what he got. Beautiful job, great pressure. Da Silva held out as long as he could, but nothing he could do against that kind of pressure in that position. Great stuff by Matt Rizzo.
8th career win by submission for Pennsylvania's Matt Rizzo. And he does it inside Madison Square Garden. To make it official, here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of an arm triangle choke. Official time, 3 minutes, 48 seconds into round number 3. The winner by submission, Matt Razor Sharp Rizzo.
Check this out. Our tail of the tape for our next fight is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. The only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And look at the 4-inch reach advantage for Jerome Mickle. Will he use it?
With the official introductions, once again, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight here at Bellator NYC, we welcome one of our good friends from right here in New York as our guest ring announcer for this next fight. Please welcome the host of the Boomer and Carton Morning Show on WFAN here in New York City. Please welcome Mr. Craig Carton.
What is up, New York City, the greatest place in the world to see the greatest fighters in the world. So without further ado, allow me to introduce your 2 fighters. Lightweight division, 3 5-minute rounds. In the blue corner, standing at 5'11", weighing in at 155.8 pounds, a professional record of 2 wins and 1 loss, fighting out of the Bronx, Jerome "The Mechanic" Mickle. And in the red corner, standing at 5'8", weighing in at 157.4 pounds, a professional record of 1-1, fighting out of Selden, New York, Anthony Giacchino. And your referee for tonight is Rob Hines. Have a great fight. I'm going to get out of here right now.
We spare no expense here inside the Mecca. No expense.
All right, gentlemen, here we go. First round, you ready? First round, you ready? Go, fight.
Here we go. Jerome Mickle, blue gloves. Anthony Giacchino in the red gloves, southpaw. Giacchino, upstate, from the Bronx, Jerome Mickle. Wow.
Good timing on that takedown.
Exploded.
Wasn't able to keep him down. Might have to drag him down again. Mickle almost in a head and arm position. That's dangerous because your opponent can do that. Take your back.
Pressure early.
Yeah, you don't have to wonder what the strategy is when you see double leg like that.
Yeah. Pressure early, pressure from the start, high pace. A lot of level changes. That's what Phil Davis says we're going to see later tonight in the title fight in the light heavyweight division.
And what's interesting about Phil is he doesn't have that straight ahead kind of style. His wrestling is very unorthodox. His striking style is unorthodox. His body is unorthodox. Hard to see his stuff coming. Doesn't come at you, just straight for the double leg.
It's not easy to fight Dwight Howard.
No.
It's basically his strength.
Yeah, it's his build.
Yeah. Really persistent at the start of this fight is Mikkel. There's distance again.
Problem is, when you face a guy who wants to grapple, you have to stay off the fence. You have to keep that footwork going because they can push you right into the fence. They want that clinch. They want that game with no space. Nice leg
solid kick. Mikkel switching up his stance, throws the kick. That was solid. So Mikkel very comfortable switching his stance up. You see it here early in the fight.
Mikkel still got his back against the fence. If I were there, I would angle, try and get out, make this a center fight. Make the grappler take that shot in the open mat, not when you're against the fence.
Pressure. Giacchino looking to close the gap.
Thought we'd see more takedowns from him after that first double leg. I thought, well, that's his game. He's going to want to push Mikkel to the fence and do that over and over again. He's been content to strike the last couple minutes.
Oh my! Big right hand! And again! Wow!
Giacchino's trying to answer back. He didn't go into a defensive mode. He kept slugging.
Wow!
Love seeing that.
Mikkel over the top.
Fighting fire with fire.
Yep, and the return by Giacchino.
Well, another good right over the top.
Man, he's swinging. Looking to end it right here, right now.
And now Giacchino doing the smart thing, getting chest to chest. Doesn't want to give him that right hand range.
Let's get it down! He's trying to grab your wrist. Let's get it down! Where's that wrist control roll? Let's go.
And Giacchino, the first time he was hurt, he said, I'm going to answer back. Landed some good punches. That last time, he went, you know what? I'm going to go back to my wrestling. Clear my head a little bit.
Yep. Mikkel applying the pressure now, throwing some knees. And he's out. Giacchino, watch for that overhand right again. Got it locked and loaded. There it is.
Giacchino, once again, keeping pressure on Mikkel. Keeping him against the fence. You know, I think he respects that overhand right, but he's not showing that fear. He's still the one pressing forward. There he goes. He gets the payoff for it. Gets him against the fence. But since that first double leg, he hasn't found success with his wrestling. Had good pressure, controlled distance well, but hasn't gotten Mikkel down to the floor again.
Final minute of round number one. Mikkel in the blue gloves, Giacchino in the red gloves. There's that stance switch again I talked about earlier, Jimmy.
Yep.
Heavy kick, but checked.
It's a tough one to score because Giacchino's been the pressure guy. He's been the aggressor. He's landed some good punches. But I think Mikkel's the one who's landed the harder punches. He's done more damage.
Big takedown late. Jimmy, these guys came to fight.
They did. In different ways. We saw that early blast double leg. Excellent job by Giacchino. But the striking, especially the right hand of Mikkel, has been on point. He's hurt Giacchino more than once. That's putting money in the bank, going after the legs. And the right hand, that's what staggered Giacchino. Set up a lot of great punches, but credit Giacchino's heart, his aggression. He fired back and got back in this fight and ended against the fence right where he wanted to be. But he is yet to find an answer for that right hand or the uppercut of Mikkel. Has to worry about that in round number two. He can't get hit like this throughout the fight and expect to win.
Mouthpiece, mouthpiece, mouthpiece. Let's go, mouthpiece. Go, put it in. Good?
Set for the start of round two.
Round two ready?
Round 2 ready? Go, fight.
Who'd you give round 1 to?
10-9 Mikkel, and I'll tell you why. The criteria is effective striking and effective grappling. They have equal weight. I thought his striking was a little more effective. Giacchino grappled a lot, was in close a lot, got a couple takedowns, but didn't do a lot.
Oh! Looking to finish him right here!
Scorecard's about to be meaningless.
Another big right hand.
And that's why I gave him round 1, the ability to hurt Giacchino.
Right on cue.
Giacchino is tough. He goes
really
down.
Is.
He keeps scrambling.
Mikkel fighting out of the Bronx, inside the Mecca. Looking for that right hand again. Giacchino's trying to mix it up, throw some kicks.
But look at the fundamental changes he's not making. That left hand still floating low. He's really vulnerable on that side. That's why that right hand keeps landing. Whenever I see a guy get hit by something, I think, does he make the fundamental changes necessary to avoid that? Giacchino, he has not. He's been in the fight. He's always pushing forward. That's great. But he hasn't kept that chin down and that left hand up.
And Mikkel definitely utilizing his reach advantage.
Yes.
It's one thing to have it, Jimmy, we've talked about it before. It's another thing to use it.
The way he's using it, he doesn't push forward when he strikes. He keeps it range and he lets Giacchino come to him. That's what you do when you have the range advantage.
Well, we haven't talked about it before,
but we have separately talked about it.
I talked to one guy about it.
Exactly.
But you know what?
I know, sir. Separately, we have both talked about that.
Yes, we have.
Wonderful. Nice left and right.
Pressure and takedown. Desperately needed by Giacchino.
Now what he has to do is desperately keep him down. Cannot just let him back to his feet, make this a striking match again. He's gotten takedowns before. He hasn't been able to settle and really use top position.
In half guard, some ground and pound. Nicely done.
Those are nice shots. This is the ground and pound of a guy who does not want this back on the feet. Staying very busy, really active.
Calling for the north-south choke. He's got side control. Looking for some shots from this position.
Americana.
Can he get it?
It's very, very tight. He's able to straighten out.
A lot of pressure.
Going back to it. The most basic submission in Jiu-Jitsu, but it still works. He's out.
Good defense thus far by Mikkel, but he's mounted.
You see that mount, he has the arm trapped. It's a very dangerous mount. It really lets you go crazy, A, for the exposed arm, or to step up and ground and pound. You have either choice.
And a nice job by Giacchino, Jimmy. He got rocked a couple of times, and he got it to his world, and he's trying to finish it right here.
And this isn't a guy who's holding on. He's trying hard to finish this fight.
Absolutely. He didn't want to start the next round standing again. I don't want to stand back.
Let's get out of here if I can. Controlling the wrist. Looking for him to ground and pound with his right hand. Can't keep it.
Postures up. Body head.
Come out backdoor. He's out.
And a quick kick from Mikkel.
To me, this round is up for grabs in this last minute. Mikkel has owned him on the feet. Giacchino schooled him on the ground.
Oh, nice.
I needed the bread basket. That'll take everything out of you.
Giacchino's corner saying he's tired. He's tired, and it's boom. Another takedown.
That could ice the round for Giacchino.
Absolutely. Right into side control. 20 seconds on the clock here in round 2. Very active on top.
Switch to north-south choke. You can also take this to a Darce choke.
5 seconds.
He's getting the arm out. Not going to finish it in time.
gentlemen.
Look at the stuff on the feet. Pico landing that right hand right to the chin. When you see that in slow motion, it's amazing. Giacchino was able to get back into this fight, but as soon as he hits the ground, he's active, he's scrambling, he's trying to get back in it. And he got his reward later in the round with his own top game. And there it was, side control, full mount, aggressive. Went for more than one submission, great ground and pound. I think he did enough on the ground to earn this round back. And considering how it started, that's saying a lot.
Third and final round. 5 minutes remain. Pico in the blue gloves. Giacchino in the red gloves. 1 round each, according to my partner, Jimmy Smith.
But they were rounds that were very tough to score. It wouldn't surprise me if they're both flipped in the eyes of the judges. Could be all over the board.
You're right.
The point is, neither guy can feel like, I got it in the bag, I can ride out this last 5 minutes. Both guys have to fight hard, which they've been doing so far.
Every mixed martial artist in the world knows it's never a good idea to leave it in the hands of the judges. And if you don't have that figured out yet,
you haven't been in the sport long enough.
There you go. There you go.
We have seen some bad ones, you and I.
Absolutely. Kick right to the body of Giacchino.
Leaping left.
He got clipped.
Yeah, answered by a left from Giacchino.
He got clipped. You could see his reaction moving back.
Giacchino's hurt him more. Thomas in position for a standing arm triangle.
Great cardio by Anthony Giacchino. He's really kept the pace, right?
Completely. I always tell guys, never set a pace you can't keep. He's fighting like he did in the first minute. And that's good conditioning, that's good pacing.
And he stayed pedal to the metal the entire second round.
And getting clipped the way he did, that takes a lot of gas out of you, a lot of energy.
Got clipped big in the first round, second round, and here's another takedown.
Big mistake, a rookie mistake by Pico. You see when he gets taken down, he takes almost that breath of like, oh, I just got taken down. You got to move right now. You have to move to get guard back. You got to scramble. You can't let your opponent solidify the position. He kind of goes flat when he got taken down.
And we've seen every time side control on the takedown immediately.
Exactly. You got to fight to get that position back.
So that's what you talked about, Jimmy, that the tactical error that Pico's making is allowing Giacchino the position.
Exactly. You take down a great wrestler, a great jiu-jitsu guy, they're scrambling as soon as you hit the ground. They're looking for a good position. Giacchino being very smart on top. He's going for the Americana, the key lock over and over again. Why? It's a safe position. You don't have to get out of side control. You don't have to commit a lot of body weight. You don't get it, you're still in good position. Very, very safe position on top.
We're past the midway point of the third and final round.
Pico's got to sell out. And what I mean by that is maybe turn your back, maybe give up something big, risk getting submitted in order to get out of this position because Giacchino isn't going anywhere.
I'm talking about a north-south choke.
It's too high to choke from there. He's going to angle out of it.
There you go.
There he goes. I always tell guys starting out jiu-jitsu, higher belts know when it's done before you do. They just know I'm not going to get it. They transition. You see that transition, he knows he doesn't have it, and is going for something better like this.
Looking to finish this fight. Looking to choke. It is all over. He waited. I waited.
He waited for you to say it. That's what it was.
And I saved it.
Great stuff.
I did not do a Sean shirt.
It did not.
And it's only happened once in my career. And it's only happened once in my career.
Great stuff, man.
Our producer, John Norton, just said 1.5.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Cat. So 1.5. He got a little bit extra. And you'll see why, folks. That hand was up.
Here's our Black Card Premium Spiced Rum Replay. The bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Giacchina in this third round fighting smart, going back to the double leg. And look at Mickle. Look at that disappointed look, not trying to get guard back. He lost those transitional battles that gave Giacchina top position. From here, you see that arm snake under the neck, and you'll see why it was the 1.5 call. Look at the hand come up and then tap. There's the delay for it. Right there under the chin. Great job by Giacchina. Great heart by both guys. And he gets a rare Goldie moment, a 1.5 call from Mike Goldberg.
Great job, great pressure. Spectacular finish with the choke for Anthony Giacchina.
Ladies and gentlemen, after nearly 3 full rounds of non-stop action, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 3 minutes, 40 seconds into round number 3 for the winner by submission, Anthony Giacchina.
Congratulations, Anthony Giacchina. He finishes the fight with the rear naked choke. Marine Corps veteran and New York City native Bradley Desir squares off against Navy vet Nate Greb in the latest installment of Vow Fights. 30-year-old Brad Desir, 9 wins, Jimmy, 7 of those by knockout. And he's a guy who trains in this area just across the Hudson with Team Tiger Schulman. They are set to go. We're set to introduce via Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA now proudly features 2 of our nation's military veterans inside the Bellator cage. 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division here at Madison Square Garden. It's presented by Spike's Veterans Operation Wellness. Vow, a Spike's campaign to inspire veterans to make the same commitment to their health and wellness that they've made to their country. And now, we introduce the blue corner first at 6 foot weighing in 155.4 pounds after 8 years of active duty in the U.S. Navy. Tonight, he enters the Bellator cage with 3 victories, with 1 defeat as a mixed martial artist. From Baltimore, Maryland, please welcome Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy Reserves, Nate Greb. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 160.6 pounds after 2 tours of combat duty in Iraq. As a mixed martial artist tonight, he stands with 9 victories, 5 defeats, fighting out of the Bronx, New York. Please welcome Corporal, United States Marine Corps, Bradley Featherstone Desir. In charge of the action, your referee, Todd Anderson.
So Todd Anderson, our referee for tonight's Vow fight. Navy veteran Nate Greb, Marine veteran Bradley Desir. And here we go. Greb, blue gloves. Desir, red gloves. Heavy kicks. Fight Clock brought to you all night by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers, it's Miller time. And he's swinging.
Those guys start out with a lot of energy. Not really feeling out process here.
Desir training with Tiger Schulman, who is the kind of guy who always has his fighters going full out, aggressive, look for the finish right now.
Yeah, a lot of kicks as well. A lot of in and out, a lot of movement from Tiger Schulman, guys.
Heavy kicks. Mixing it up very well. Inside kick followed up. Nice. Caught him with that jab, spin, but tight. Oh, big right hand.
Right. Greb's got to do something to back Desir off. When a guy's being this aggressive, he gives you openings. You have to capitalize on it. Greb so far reacting. Not being proactive, he's not countering well. Expression here a lot of times in fights. Back the guy off. Give him a reason to not come after you. So far, Desir hasn't been given that reason.
Set up that kick well. Kind of soccer kick style.
And that's the kind of thing you want to do early in the first round. Money in the bank, body shots, leg kicks, stuff you feel after about the 9th or 10th minute.
The gas tank just goes down and down and down when you break the body down. And the mind and spirit. Again, it's the jab of Desir, perfectly timed when Greb is coming in, and there you see the result, the blood from his nose.
Good jab. What that does is derails your opponent's offense. They can't set up their next punch. They can't throw a combination. It's like a jolt of lightning right in your face.
For years, you know, a lot of people said, Jimmy, that the jab was the most underutilized weapon in MMA.
Jabs and leg kicks, and now we're seeing that a lot of great fighters use them.
Really started with George St. Pierre, Faraz Sahabi, and Rory Macdonald.
Fantastic jabbers.
Yep.
Always keep that left hand in front. Always pop in the nose. And that's why their opponents always have trouble getting off with their offense.
Rory made his Bellator debut. Submission win.
Razor sharp.
Yeah. Submission win. And it's all over. Bradley Desir by knockout.
He had confidence in his striking throughout this fight, and it paid off.
Wow.
Man. Got him face down and the right hand over the top. That was all she wrote.
Take a look at it. Here's our Black Card Premium Spice Rum Replay. The Bold 93 Proof Rum. That's edgy to the core.
Just when we were talking about the jab, that's how we set it up. And then boom, this right hand. A right-left combination and down on the ground. That was just a coup de grace. Right on the chin, a left on the chin. And this fight is all over. That last one to the ear, that's a legal shot.
There's the jab.
That's the jab that set it up. That underused weapon, that's why you throw it. It sets up the power punches.
10th career win, 8th win by knockout for Bradley Desir.
Cameramen always appreciate that kiss. Always do. Put your lips on their camera. They love that.
All right, let's make it official. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes 2 minutes, 54 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout, Bradley Featherstone Desir.
Wow, we are here tonight at Madison Square Garden. Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
Haim Ghazali, 10 years older than Ryan Couture, 44.
Michael C. Williams with the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight here at the Mecca of Combat Sports, Madison Square Garden, Miller Lite presents Bellator MMA now. Inside the cage, 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 169.2 pounds. His professional record, 7 victories, 3 defeats. Hailing from Bat Yam, Israel, presenting Haim Ghazali. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 168.8 pounds. As a professional, he brings 10 victories, 5 defeats, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Introducing Ryan Couture. And the referee in charge of the action, Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata, our referee. And there you see Randy, the Natural Couture. That's where it was going with the Gracie thing.
I'm picking up what you're putting down,
Yeah,
bro. Legends, he's one of them.
Correct.
Pioneer.
Correct.
All right, you ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Fight Clock, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time. Here we go. Quick kick by Ryan Couture. He is in the red gloves. Zali in the blue gloves, the southpaw.
One thing I'm curious about with Ryan Couture, last 2 times in the Bellator cage, vicious knockout loss to Patricky Pitbull, followed by a lightning quick submission loss to Goichi Yamauchi. Is he confident? Does he fight with aggression? Is he still thinking about those finishes?
Ryan Couture was 11 years old when UFC 1 took place. My first fight was Randy Couture beating Maurice Smith to become the heavyweight champion. I remember
that on VHS. And the rest of our fans are going, what's VHS? We don't have time to explain it to you.
Right? You mean it wasn't on YouTube? It's not on my phone?
Yep. Blockbuster, anybody? Nobody?
Yep.
All right, they don't know what we're talking about.
Couture looking to set the pace early.
Yep.
That low kick.
Gosali so far just, oh, nice left hook.
Yep.
I was saying it looked like he's measuring him for some counter punches.
Zali likes to use that reach, doesn't he?
And it's got a very unorthodox style. He drops his hands a lot, moves at strange angles, throws at strange angles. So far, he's letting Ryan be the aggressor.
I remember asking Randy years ago when Ryan made his professional debut, like, I know it's probably tougher with your son in there than being in there yourself. You see, yeah, I'm his dad, but he said, he's okay. He's okay. He's got this.
Yeah.
You know, he put in the work.
And on the other side, you know, what people don't understand, if you're Ryan Couture, if you're Kron Gracie, if you're from a legacy like that, you're compared to that person your entire life. That's not an easy thing to train with. It's not an easy thing to deal with. You can't just be okay. You're not just another guy at the gym.
Amen.
We'll see Neiman Gracie in a little bit. Remember, that's been on his back his whole life.
Let's go, guys. Work.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Sorry I beat you to it.
I know.
You know.
1-0 you.
Nice uppercut.
Oh, got him.
Good right hand.
Yep, pushing again. So you can see the game plan for Couture's pressure.
That seems to be the Couture game plan.
Oh, man.
Father and son, they love that. Physical pressure. Lock your opponent up, wear him down.
Yep, that's how Randy became a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
This right here. Grind on your opponent, dirty boxing, outwork him.
Look at those knees right to the ribs. He's definitely thinking body, thinking about wearing Gosali out. You know, when you talk to foreign fighters, anybody outside the United States, and you say, well, you know, what is it about American fighters that makes them so good? It's, man, they all wrestle. They're just wrestlers everywhere. Every camp has high-level wrestlers. It's hard to find high-level wrestlers outside of the Middle East, you know, Russia and the United States. And that's one thing American fighters tend to have is those training partners that have great wrestling.
And to that point, that's why all these combat sambo guys that come over have so much success.
Yes.
And Fedor has done that.
One of those guys. Done that a few times.
Yeah, I think so. They battle on the fence here, first round.
Come on, guys, work.
Right into that grinding style.
Yeah, caught him with an uppercut there, Jimmy.
Fights from the ribs up. Needs to go after the body first.
Gosali, he wants to fight at distance, and Couture doesn't want to let him. Low kick again.
Everything he throws is designed to push you back. He steps into everything he throws. Pushes in off the jab, pushes off the right hand to get Gosali against the fence.
Both men have a good reach, and they fight long, and Ryan's doing a great job of fighting long and following it up.
The problem is Gosali hasn't really found a way out of these clinch positions. He really hasn't had an answer for this kind of attack. Best way to beat is with your feet. Circle enough that your back's not against the fence when he attacks, but hasn't been doing that.
Fifth Bellator fight for Ryan Couture. Final 10 seconds around number 1. Nice elbow.
No, please. I know it's after the bell, but please don't do it, all right? I want to take a point away, all right? Let's give you a warning, please. All right, let's go. Round 2, fighting.
Round 2. Red gloves for Couture, blue gloves for Jaime Gonzalez. See if he can turn things up here in the second. I'm sure you gave Couture round 1, Jim.
I did, 10-9. It was his kind of fight, up against the fence, a lot of dirty boxing. See, Gonzalez tends to plant his feet in positions like this. He's not angling, he's not circling. And what do you know? Your back's against the fence. When you face that superior grappler, you gotta keep angling.
With him planting his feet, you see that Couture is throwing those little low kicks.
Yep. Chop out that foot,
yep.
Get him moving backward.
Dan Henderson's as good as anybody with that technique.
Great at that.
Usually follows it up with the H-bomb.
Chael Sonnen might use that tonight. Just bull rush Wanderlei to the fence, get him in this Greco position where he's going to be dominant. And once again, Gonzalez hanging on, but no real counter offense, no real strategy to get out of here. Pulling guard. That's pretty rare. Don't see that too often. You have to have a lot of faith in your ground game to pull guard on Ryan Couture. His last fight fell to an armbar from Goichi Yamauchi, but Goichi, a fantastic grappler, and you know Ryan went back and drilled that armbar defense over and over and over again. Good posture, good pressure with the hips. Gonzalez trying to walk those legs up, and he's going to cut the angle and look for the arm, but Ryan Couture doing a great job with his hips, his upper body posture, staying out of danger here.
Trying to posture up. Couture won his first 2 Bellator fights. He lost his last 2. Looking to get back to his winning ways inside the Bellator cage. Second Bellator fight for Gonzalez.
Going to the knee bar. His hips are a little bit low. Gonna start cranking on his hip, isn't quite on the knee. He can transition from here. He gets it deep enough and go heel hook. That's where he's trying to go now. Too late. Good job sitting up. He knew it was over with. Trying to get the top position.
Looking to take the back of Ryan Couture.
Not going to get it from there. Back to square one.
Under 2 on the clock here in round 2. Gonzalez kind of just fell to his back there, didn't he?
Went right to it.
Yep. Well, of the 7 career wins for Gonzalez, 6 have been by submission.
Yeah, a lot of confidence in his jiu-jitsu.
For sure.
Problem is, it's hard to catch a tough wrestler, an experienced guy from your back. I say Goichi Yamauchi did it, but he's a freak on the ground. Absolute freak. See what Ryan's doing. He's staying composed, staying patient. Not doing anything stupid to leave that arm behind. Now sitting back. Now he's 1 in, 1 out. That's where you don't want to be. Gonzalez not in position to finish, though.
Couture patient again and escaping. And he's up.
Let's go up. Hands up, fight.
Ryan had good fortune and good success striking early in the fight, pushing right forward, right, left, right, long punches that landed. There you go.
And every shot pushes Gonzalez up against the fence. That's his real goal.
Yeah.
You know, Get that slapping shot, whatever it takes, get him backing up.
The game has certainly evolved where more fighters can be aggressive moving backward, but it's still a difficult thing.
Yeah, very tough.
Final round, let's go.
Third and final round. 5 minutes remain. Ryan Couture, 10 round again.
2 rounds to none, both of them 10-9. He's been controlling this fight.
He just ate a stiff jab to start round 3. Gonzalez coming out in the orthodox stance. Now he goes back to southpaw. Wow.
Easily taking him off balance with that leg kick.
Good head movement. Avoiding any damage.
Right hand snuck through right by the ear.
Again with that low kick.
Both guys content to strike right now. It's a little surprising. Ryan Couture's had great success against the fence, but he's swinging in the middle of the cage.
Nice. Setting up those high kicks.
It's Couture with his back to the fence.
But not too high.
Easy turn.
Yeah, not
easy.
Kind of felt that coming in you.
Yeah. Nice short uppercuts.
More dirty boxing.
Yep.
Again, you don't take it.
Looked like he was going to dive for a knee bar, trying to get his arm underneath the leg. Wasn't going to happen.
And now Ryan doesn't even want to mess around with it.
And also, you know what a tough drill is? When you run around the mat, lay down, get up again, run again. We used to do that to simulate. You are exhausted just getting up over and over. And every time Gonzalez has to get up, it takes something out of him. It's a tough drill.
The running burpee?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
That coach is telling me, hey, it's not easy going from your back to getting up again over and over and over again during a fight. It wears you down.
Burpees are stupid.
Pretty bad. Horrible memories.
From a week ago. And Ryan steps away again.
Let's go, hands up, Ryan, hands up.
Once again, Gonzalez has to get up, walk back to the center. Ryan Couture is leading this dance. He's been leading it throughout the fight.
And he wants to finish this fight on the feet, you can tell. Nice knee. Just past the midway point, third and final round.
Here's what you start wondering is, what does Jaime Gonzalez have in the tank? What's that weapon that he can pull out, maybe change the trajectory of this fight? We haven't seen a really great finishing position from him. He's got to pull out something. Nice scorecard, he's way behind, nice knee.
Had the good clinch, pull the head down, throw the knee up. Dominant performance thus far for Couture. Looking for the win here inside MSG, the Mecca. Double. Boom.
Easy takedown. Yeah. Jaime Gonzalez went over the top of the guillotine without guard. That's never going to work. Once again, good physical pressure, good posture, not letting Jaime Gonzalez control him and bring him down. He can finish this here.
Yeah, those are heavy.
Those are big ones.
You can hear the solid contact to the body and the head. It's because he's postured up.
And he's right at mid-range. He's not too far out. He's not too close in. He's in the right position to land good punches.
your fingers out of that cage, Ryan.
Ryan Couture looks like he's going to walk away with this one.
Big shot. Still wants to finish in the final seconds of the fight. Great performance tonight by Ryan Couture. Gonna earn his 3rd win inside the Bellator cage.
Exercise the demons of those last 2 losses. Did it in dominant fashion.
All right, let's make it official. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to your 3 judges. Your first judge, Sal Yamato, scores the fight 30-26, while judges Doug Crosby and Dave Torelli both see the fight the same 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Ryan Couture.
Dominant indeed. Couture got a 10-8 round, and he earns the victory here tonight by unanimous decision. Our Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
What else can you highlight? 4-5 versus a pro debuter, Alice Yager. Much more MMA experience.
All right, let's get it started officially with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Tonight, live on Spike, Miller Lite presents the New York debut of Bellator MMA. From Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, Bellator 180 begins now with flyweights inside the cage set for 3 5-minute rounds brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports. And now, introducing the blue corner first. At 5'4", she weighed in 125.6 pounds. Her professional record stands at 4-5, fighting out of Fort Worth and hailing from Burleson, Texas. Introducing Alice, the soccer mom, Yager. And across the cage, her adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'5", weighing in 125.2 pounds. An undefeated champion in professional boxing. Tonight, she makes her professional MMA debut, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, presenting Heather the Heat Hardy. In charge of the action, your referee, Big John McCarthy.
Big John McCarthy, our referee, as we get things started live on Spike. Heather Hardy, Alice Yager.
You ready? Get out.
Here we go. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time. Yager in the blue gloves, Hardy in the white top and in the red gloves.
Yager staying true to her word. She's stepping forward and throwing.
Immediately, she comes out as
there's
the aggressor.
clinch.
How clinch early.
Yeah, how Heather Hardy deals with this position will tell us a lot. So far, she's doing well and she's out of it.
We know one thing. She is a tough young lady, and she showed it throughout her boxing career. She was a grinder. She said, I didn't box like a Holly Holm. I was a grinder. I was an in-your-face type fighter. She was called it, once in a while, the female Arturo Gatti. That's another bad.
That's a compliment for sure.
But right now, Yager bringing it.
And what she's throwing now are a lot of overhand rights. She's tagged Yager with a couple of those. There's another one a little bit straighter.
To the body. Let's see if Heather Hardy starts throwing kicks or if it's just the hands. Very dangerous hands.
If you're a boxer, you stick with what's working. Right now, the hands are working.
Yes.
Cut on blues due to a punch.
We haven't seen from Yager is a level change, any attempt at a takedown. She's tried to clinch a bit. That's going to put her right in punching range, trying to get in there.
That was a nice counter by Alice Yager with the right hand. There's the kick from Hardy.
The right hand over the top. She's catching Yager, bringing that left hand down. See when she starts throwing, it goes down to her waist.
Nice jab.
Every time Yager has thrown the right hand, she drops that left. And that right hand is always going to meet it. Every time she sees that opening, she's taking advantage of it with the right.
Cut over the left eye of Alice Yager.
Nice left hook.
And immediately the jab works again. Jimmy, Heather Hardy was very precise in telling us the difference between boxing and utilizing your boxing in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, people think you just have to add wrestling or jiu-jitsu and you'll have the complete package. The way you box in MMA, the way you use kickboxing in MMA is very different. Have to make those adjustments. The range is different. The weapons your opponent has are different. And she respects that. She really does.
She said the way you stand, your front leg, your distance, how much you commit. You can't lean on your opponent. So she knows that, and she's trained it. Now she's trying to show it.
Heather Hardy showing a lot of confidence. Look how she's dropping that left hand all the way down by her waist. She's relying on her ability to read the punches of Yager. Nice knee.
Watch full Bellator fights on the Spike app on iOS, Android, Roku, and now available on Apple TV.
Now Yager's had her moments. She's landed some of her own punches. She did a good job with that knee, but she hasn't quite strung together her attacks yet. Hardy's been a lot busier and more accurate. She's trying to throw that knee to catch Hardy extended when she throws her punches. You see how she leans over her leg a little bit?
Yep.
That's why Yager keeps throwing that knee, trying to catch her extended. Not able to capitalize.
She did. She tried to. There's some Muay Thai from Alice Yager. She's trying to show Heather Hardy things that maybe Heather Hardy hasn't seen. She hasn't seen it professionally, obviously, but in training.
Right. You want to show her everything but boxing.
And it's different once you actually walk into the cage.
What is it? Everybody's got a plan until they get hit?
That's it.
But neither fighter is fighting intimidated. They're both going after it. Yager by her opponent. Heather Hardy by the big lights.
Oh, she got caught.
Great.
But Hardy's bloodied up too, Jimmy.
Yes. Both of them have had their moments.
With the top. Good start. Wow, great to be here inside Madison Square Garden. They're bringing it tonight.
Nice block of that, huh? Good job.
Give me the water, give me the water. I get the wrong bucket. There's 2 buckets there. Here. Can you get the other bucket, please? I want to see you moving after you land your punch. You stay in front of her, she's hitting you back, okay? I don't want to see those kicks anymore. Okay, you're touching her with those kicks, she's coming with power on you. I want to see you throwing one punch. When she comes to you, then you can put your combination, okay? Don't try to rush on your combination because you're going to be out of energy. Okay, save your energy for the good shot.
Yeah, and you gotta beat that leg more, all right? And don't run it because she's gonna knee you. So just stay outside and beat that leg out. And sometimes you gotta straighten your punch.
You notice already she has nothing for you. Okay, she has nothing for you. Little one.
Great to be here. Mercedes, Lindsay, our Bellator girls. This is the biggest night in Bellator history. Mike Goldberg, Jimmy Smith, Jen Brown, Laura Rinaldo, Brandon Schaub, Josh Thompson, and a couple other 100 people bringing it. Gotta love it. Everybody excited, Jimmy. Clinch early, Heather Hardy's corner said no more kicks. She doesn't need to utilize kicks, they said. Just use your hands. Look for the count.
Yeah, and they've been at punching range most of this fight. I agree with that advice. No need to overextend yourself like that. Oh, that was a good kick. Alice Yager has basically been willing to engage her at punching range. Yager, I think, has figured out I need to get a little unorthodox through the knees and kicks a little bit more. She started out throwing punches. I think she learned her lesson with that one.
Oh, another good counter by Yager. It was a very close first 5 minutes. Jimmy, how'd you score it?
I gave it 10-9 Hardy because I thought she was a little more accurate with her punches, landed some good overhand rights. She just did a little bit more damage. But make no mistake, Yager had her moments there. She's got to string it together and get an offensive sequence that really works for her. She's great in spurts, but she has to put it together. Maybe going back to that clinch would be a good idea. She was throwing some brutal knees in round one.
She's definitely one of the toughest soccer moms in the world.
That's true.
Believe it or not, she once weighed over 200 pounds when she began her MMA training back in May of 2013. Her husband, Brian, in the corner tonight, a brown belt in judo.
Nice right hand. That's the punch that has really been money for Heather Hardy. Overhand right.
And Yager said to us, Jimmy, that all 9 of her MMA fights have all been battles. They've been wars. They've been like this pace.
The Middleton fight, that was a war as well. On the losing end of that, but man, she put everything into it.
Her Bellator debut back in January. Whoa, big swing and a miss. Or did she just clip her because there's some blood on the cheek now?
She clipped her with that straight right.
Yep.
Came after the overhand. It might be a good strategy is hit her with a different kind of right hand. She's been throwing these windmill rights. She tightens up a little bit. It's possible Yager won't be able to see it.
Brooklyn's Hardy, the favorite here in Madison Square Garden. She is boxed at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. As she comes forward, just past the midway point of this fight. And she's swinging. Good kick.
Surprised Yager doesn't lean more on those leg kicks. She's been so willing to exchange punches with Heather Hardy.
Yager went as far, Jimmy, is saying, okay, they're 3-minute rounds of boxing. She hasn't been involved in 5-minute rounds.
True. That is the difference, but I'm telling you, she's been training for 5-minute rounds.
For a long time.
Yes.
She said, I come from a long line of really tough women. Don't forget, 10 in the East, 7 in the West. We are live on pay-per-view, 2 title fights, including Michael Chandler and Brent Primus.
What we haven't seen from Yager is that level change. Double leg, single leg, high crotch attack. She's kind of pushing forward to get the clinch. She's eating some punches, trying to get in with that nice right hand. That's where you counter a leg kick if you're not used to it. Checking takes a long time to learn. The first thing you teach somebody who doesn't have Muay Thai experience, they kick, you punch. Checking takes a while to get.
This is exactly how a show should start inside the Mecca.
Exactly.
Heather Hardy fought 132 professional rounds in her boxing career. Under a minute here. Good right hand.
Another good right. Still finding a home for it.
Biting down on her mouthpiece.
Watch it.
Yager with the clinch. Nice knee. Answer.
One of the problems is that Heather Hardy has done a good job of pushing Yager back with her punches. Where that clinch would really be effective is if she can get Heather Hardy against the fence, limit her ability to get out and really lay on those knees. And so far, that really hasn't been an option.
Ooh. Second round in the books.
So much of this fight at boxing range, and that has been great for Heather Hardy. She's found an opening for the overhand right over and over and over again.
Third and final round. Hardy's corner said, do not brawl. Don't get into a brawl with her. Yager's corner, Jimmy said, we got to treat this round like we need to finish Heather Hardy.
I completely agree. I have her down 2 rounds to none, both of them 10-9. She's had her moments, but Heather Hardy has done more damage.
Brooklyn zone getting the love.
Here's one thing Heather Hardy keeps doing. She keeps popping out of range. She keeps slipping and sliding. She's doing a great job at slipping punches, but when she does, she's so far out of range she can't return. She needs to slip and be a little bit closer so she can counterattack.
That, though, is the adjustment from pure boxing to MMA.
Exactly. And look at the volume. Hardy just busier. She's throwing a lot more. She's throwing better combinations. See that right there? She slipped the punch, but she's not quite in range to throw a counter shot. She's a little too far out. Make them miss, make them pay.
Yep. Slip and rip.
Yep, she's doing a great job of getting out of the way, but she's not quite in return range.
The main reason for that, Jimmy, is because every time they go to the clinch, it seems like, here, Yager gets the better of Hardy.
Yep. But she hasn't been able to get her to the floor, hasn't been able to really capitalize. She's easily out.
Again, aggressive Heather Hardy with the big swing. Changing levels now. The American gangster, Chael Sonnen, takes on bitter rival, the axe murderer, Wanderlei Silva. Fedor Emelianenko battles Matt Mitrione and Bellator champions Douglas Lima and Michael Chandler put their gold on the line. It's Bellator NYC tonight at 10 in the East, 7 in the West. Live on pay-per-view. Order right now. Third round. And again, Hardy in the red gloves going over the top.
Yager's not moving her head enough. She's not keeping that left hand high. She's not closing that door to the right hand. That's why Heather Hardy keeps walking through it.
There's the knee again.
But they've been fewer and further between as the rounds have progressed.
Which has a lot to do with the damage that Hardy's putting on Yager.
Come back to that right hand.
Oh, nice switch kick.
Good job keeping that right hand up. Always tell fighters, keep your hands up. You don't have to see everything.
There you go.
You don't have to read every strike.
Yeah, that hands down, chin up is never a good way to defend against strikes.
Unless you are Roy Jones fast, I suggest you don't do that.
90 seconds.
You saw that reaching grab, no level change on that, no commitment to the double leg. It's easy for Heather Hardy to just shrug that off.
Such great combat sports history inside this building. And when we asked Alice Yager about fighting here, she said, well, I'm a big Billy Joel fan.
That's exactly what she said.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
All right, good, great. So am I, great. Piano Man, fantastic.
Yep. He has fought here more, or pardon me, planned here more.
It's going to be all right.
Than Elton John, the most ever.
Bad cut.
Big
Bill, we got
cut.
a time.
Wow, depending on where that is, that might be a fight stopper. Just here, it's a headbutt.
It's all right, don't worry about it, okay? I just want you to look at it with some
Yeah, that's a headbutt.
Yep.
Now, did Big John see that? As we can see, it was clearly a headbutt, but that's the difference between a loss and a win, is whether or not he saw that that was a headbutt. I didn't hear him tell.
Good, okay, thank you. Yep.
Judges.
We're good.
They're going to keep going. It doesn't
Stay right
matter.
there. Get a clash of heads.
Yeah, he saw it. You just told him, clash of heads.
Okay? Come over here. Come over here. Look at, that was a clash of heads that caused that. It wasn't your fault, okay? Be careful with your head inside, okay? Are we ready? Fight.
Right back at it. Right to the center of the cage. Under a minute remains.
Yager looks like she's energized by that cut. A good combination by Hardy. Good right hand. She could have finished her right there if she had gone after her. She's still wobbly.
That's that boxer mentality.
Yeah.
Get back up. Where's the 8 count? 30 seconds.
Yager's just holding on now. Big John is very, very close to stopping this.
Hardy with the barrage of punches. Heather Hardy, it is all over! Heather Hardy wins her professional debut!
What an awesome sequence at the end after the cut. Yager looked like she was going in with more energy, and Heather Hardy stops her in her tracks. Great stuff.
Jimmy, take a look at it. Our Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay. The bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
The right hand had been money all night for Heather Hardy. Bang! Look at it here, right on the chin. Yager gets up wobbly. She never got her legs back under her. As soon as she pops up, you knew she was hurt. And Heather Hardy, with her boxing experience, was not about to let Yager off the hook. Big John McCarthy all over this, just waiting for the right time to step in. And this right hand right here, bang, he saw enough. And that is all she wrote. The boxer, appropriately enough, finishes it with punches on the feet. Great job, great MMA debut, great way to start off Bellator 180.
We will be back with the official decision. That is coming up next, right here on Spike. Born and raised in Brooklyn. Look at the reaction. Heather Hardy, winner in her pro debut by knockout. She was very busy, as Jimmy talked about, threw nearly 300 punches to make it official. Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Big John McCarthy steps in, waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes. Official time, 4 minutes, 47 seconds into round number 3. The winner by TKO, Heather "The Heat" Hardy.
Here's Jimmy with Heather.
I'm here with a very happy Heather Hardy. Were you thinking, what's it gonna take to put her away? Alice Yager was in your face the entire time.
She sure was. I was like, oh my gosh, my hands were hurting from hitting her.
When she went down here, did you realize how badly she was hurt? It was almost like you were waiting for an 8 count, but you got up and went after her.
But I knew she had to get back up, and I wanted to keep punching her, so make her stand back up.
Your MMA debut, Madison Square Garden, in front of your hometown crowd. What do you have to say to them?
Yo. Guys, everybody knows the toughest girls on the planet are from Brooklyn, New York, and we showed them tonight.
Can't wait to see you again, Heather Hardy, ladies and gentlemen.
Our Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And Shinzo Mashida at 40 has t-shirts older than James Gallagher, I bet.
And old DVDs and VHS tapes and many other things. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Live on Spike from the Mecca of combat sports, Madison Square Garden. Bellator MMA presented by Miller Lite now goes to 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'9", weighing in 146 pounds even. As a professional, 5 wins, 2 losses from Belém, Brazil. He fights out of Los Angeles, California, Shinzo Machida! And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'9", weighing in 144.4 pounds. The undefeated professional enters tonight with 6 professional victories, no defeats, proudly hailing from and fighting out of Strabane, Ireland, presenting James the Strabanamore Gallagher. In charge of the action, referee Rob Hines.
So Rob Hines, our referee, as the 20-year-old meets the 40-year-old here at Madison Square Garden. Shinzo Machida and James Gallagher. Here we go. Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time. Gallagher came out running.
But he didn't engage with strikes. He's not going to run into something. One of those kicks, one of those uppercuts. He ran across and then took his time.
He's 6-0, 5 of his wins by submission, all by choke. 4 in the first round. So he may feel confident striking with Machida, but he's got an excellent ground game. Both men do.
One thing to keep in mind is Gallagher has a background in karate. He's used to the stances, he's used to the kicks and the angles. He said, I don't really fight much like that anymore, but I know how to do it.
Shinzo with the kick and follows it up.
Diving in for the takedown, he gets it.
Machida, Shotokan Karate black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
I was able to train with Gallagher last time I was in London, and he has great fundamentals. He really knows where to put his weight. Excellent transitions right there to full mount.
That was quick.
Yeah, I was impressed by his fundamentals, his technique.
He has spent a lot of time training with Gunnar Nelson in Iceland, and that is a great partner to work on your ground game with.
There's a lot of time on the clock. You don't want to be in a bad position with 3:30 left to go in the round.
Let's see what Gallagher does from here and how patient he is.
Machida trying to sneak out on his left side. You got to put your back to the mat. And see how Gallagher's trying to pull him over to the right. That's his key to negate that. Now body triangle. Gallagher, very long legs. Machida's cut around the left eye.
You can see some of the blood on the canvas and continuous strikes from young James Gallagher. Shinzo just trying to cover up. This is his move. Rear naked choke in round 1.
Using strikes just to set it up, just to get Shinzo Machida's chin back. He got it.
It is all over! James Gallagher once again by rear naked choke.
Some people might have expected him to win this fight, but not in such a dominant fashion. That was a wipeout for Gallagher. Wow. Against a guy who had looked great in Bellator, who had won by knockout, that meant nothing to this kid.
His first professional fight in North America, and he finishes it in the first round by rear naked choke. Take a look at it on our Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay. The Bolt 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
So patient on the back, just using those short strikes. Look how it pops his head back. It pops the forehead of Shinzo Machida back just enough to get that arm underneath the chin. And what you hear, it is good night.
And he's showing some love in the crowd. Friends and family coming in from Ireland, Northern Ireland. What a moment for the 20-year-old James Gallagher. third straight Bellator win by rear naked choke.
And look at this technique. Beautiful body triangle. Excellent job extending Machida. Not able to get his chin to his chest. Rear naked choke is all about the hips, not necessarily the arms. And look at the pressure he's putting on the waist of Chinzo Machida. And once you're here touching both of your shoulders, that is all she wrote. It is tap or nap at that point. Chinzo Machida made the smart move, but man, that's an impressive performance for a young kid like James Gallagher. Patient, mature, excellent stuff.
Youngest male fighter on the Bellator roster moves to 4-0 inside the Bellator cage. The reaction of the family, they're loving what they just saw. The win by the young man from Ireland. We are at 34th and 7th Madison Square Garden, home tonight to the world famous Bellator cage. Michael C. Williams, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 2 minutes, 22 seconds into round number 1. The winner by submission, still undefeated, James the Strap Animal Gallagher.
Jimmy will visit with the youngster.
I'm here with your winner, James Gallagher. James, there's confidence, and then there's sprinting across the cage confidence. Everything looked like you wanted a first-round finish.
I'm always here for the first round finish. When I say I do, I always come and do. Every time.
You said more people were coming over to watch you in this fight than when you fought in the UK. Did you feel the support out there?
Just listen to this crowd. Look at that. There's fucking tricolors everywhere. This is my place.
Deep division, a lot of names at 145, any of them on your radar?
The fucking belt. Look up there at that place. Next time you come back here, my picture's going up there with that belt over my shoulder.
You heard it, Pitbull. He's coming for the belt.
Big Bird, get the fry on. I'm coming home tomorrow to celebrate.
James Gallagher, ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand.
I love the enthusiasm. I think his teammate Conor McGregor once said that he owns this building, but they can work that stuff out back in Ireland. Congratulations, 20-year-old James Gallagher. Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening, is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sport.
You see the 5-inch reach advantage for Phil Davis. Go ahead. You've been waiting all night, man. Go ahead.
You're gonna let me?
Go ahead, bro.
Everything else is virtually identical.
That's for the fans. Enjoy that one.
Thank you, partner. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Spike, Bellator MMA, presented by Miller Lite from Madison Square Garden. The time has come for the Bellator 180 main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. Tonight's world title fight is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. And now, introducing the blue corner first, at 6'2", weighing in 204.4 pounds, one of the top light heavyweights in the world today. He makes his Bellator debut tonight, bringing 22 professional victories, 5 defeats, fighting out of Gilbert, Arizona, presenting the challenger, Ryan Dog Bader. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 6'2", weighing in 204.8 pounds. In his first defense of the title, he stands tonight with 17 professional victories, just 3 defeats. Fighting out of San Diego, California, introducing the defending Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Dan Mergliata.
Ready, brother? All right, gentlemen, center, please. All right, gentlemen, been through the rules of the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. This is for the title. If you guys want to touch gloves, do it now. Best of luck to both of you.
Dan Mergliotta, our referee.
How's that? Got you in there?
Championship fight.
Thank you,
scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Davis. Bader.
Are you ready, sir? Are you ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Here we go! Tonight's fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers! It's Miller time. Red gloves, the familiar pink shorts for Phil Davis, blue gloves, black trunks for Ryan Bader.
Phil Davis said, I want to get that takedown working early. I didn't do that in the last fight. Man, you got to be wary of that against a high-level wrestler. It can cost you a lot of energy early on in a fight.
Ryan Bader stuffed all but one takedown attempt, and there were many in the first fight back in 2015. Here's number 1.
Wasn't able to get that left arm down. Only had one arm on that takedown. Now Ryan Bader in a body lock position.
Ryan Bader, the winner of season 8 of The Ultimate Fighter, right here on Spike. 0 for 1. Bader showing a little southpaw here.
He says my striking has advanced so much in the last few months. Nice left hand. In the first fight, he was at his best. He was pushing off his punches, using those strikes to clear a lot of distance and push Phil Davis back. He isn't great necessarily at cutting angles and setting traps. He's a forward kind of striker.
Both men have serious power.
Phil Davis is the kind to angle and throw a looping shot over the top. That's how their styles differ when it comes to the striking. Like that, loopy shots.
Bader won his last 2 fights in the UFC before coming over to Bellator. Phil Davis 4-0 inside the Bellator cage. Fans are loving it. We got a ton of great stuff still to come live on pay-per-view, top of the hour. Title on the line here live on Spike. Great to be with you, Mike Goldberg, Jimmy Smith. More Ronaldo.
Nice angle on those leg kicks.
Can he stuff it again? Yep.
Same problem. Look at that. Reached low with the right hand, but the left hand was too high. Bader got underneath it. He's got to commit with both hands.
Brendan Schaub, Josh Thompson, Jen Brown. Phil Davis 0 for 2. Midway point of round 1.
But when it comes to high-level wrestling, it has to be perfect. Your margin of error is very, very slim if you want to take down a guy like Ryan Bader.
And this is not just wrestling.
Yep.
This is MMA wrestling.
Yes, very true. They've been at distance where it's been hard to get that takedown going.
And we've talked about the difference between wrestling and MMA wrestling many times.
Yes.
Well,
with different people, but we both discussed it.
We haven't talked about it.
You've heard us at home talk about it.
I talked about it with Joe, and you talked about it with Sean.
There you go. So we both talked about it.
We have talked about it.
But that strategy Phil Davis has had, how I'm going to go in and use my wrestling early. So far, it hasn't panned out. Crowd starting to get on him. They're both painfully aware it was a painful fight last time. They're aware of that. Fans were not happy.
Phil ducked under there and almost delivered a good counter left. Again, Ryan Bader in the southpaw stance. Look at that.
So far this round almost dead even. Phil Davis, I think, a little bit more active. He's gone for a couple takedowns. Ryan Bader a little bit more accurate, I think, with the strikes, but hasn't thrown much.
Anytime you work your striking game with someone involved with Noble Unyao, that is a good thing.
Fantastic team all the way around.
Henan Barao was even in Phoenix training with Ryan Bader, CB Dalloway and the crew there.
I got to train with them when I was down in Brazil, just in Jiu-Jitsu, and it was a meat grinder.
Good
Unbelievable.
idea. I'm sure that hurt, but good idea not standing up.
I was on vacation. I'm not trading punches with those guys.
Let Aldo kick you just once. Off the forearm, and a return by Davis. Quick jab by Bader. Reaching the end of round 1. More than anything, Jimmy, this first round, mutual respect.
Good job, guys. Let's go, fight.
Round 2. Eric Del Fiero, longtime trainer for Phil Davis in San Diego. Alliance MMA said, if he keeps moving, we need to GSP him. Look for the 1-3-2.
We talked earlier on this card about GSP and his jab, his ability to set everything up off that lead hand. Problem with the takedown, I think partly in round 1 is there weren't great setups. He wasn't getting Ryan Bader to bite on any of the strikes he was throwing, so he kind of had to dive in. Well, you're not going to take Ryan Bader down with that. You got to hurt him with something, pop him in the nose, then maybe you can set up that takedown.
Davis has only lost 3 times in his career, and they've all come by decision. One to Bader, of course, the split decision. The other 2 by unanimous decision to Rashad Evans and the Rumble, Anthony Johnson.
He's really winging that left hook. The reason I gave the first round 10-9 to Phil Davis, he was just more active. You see right now, he's just a little busier, throwing a little bit more. Neither guy has really landed anything significant, but Phil Davis has been leading it a little bit. He's been moving, he's been throwing a bit more. Activity levels why I gave him round 1, but still a close round.
So despite the fact he couldn't get a takedown in the first 5 minutes, you still thought
still
you
going
had a
for
little
it.
edge.
Yeah, still going for
Great
it.
point.
Still trying to be the aggressor, still trying to get the fight to the ground.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think that way, Jimmy. Like, you know, you are going for the takedown instead of you didn't succeed.
Yeah, no credit for defense. It's who's trying to get it done. So far, it's Phil Davis. Not by a whole lot. Very close fight.
I mean, Phil's career has really been the story of the takedown. In the Rumble fight, Anthony Johnson stuffed all 8 attempts. When Phil Davis beat Glover Teixeira, he took Glover down 9 times.
And he lives and dies with the takedown.
Absolutely. Both of these guys, high-level light heavyweights for years. Top of the food chain. One's the Bellator champion, the other in his first championship fight.
One thing about taking on a guy who moves as much as Phil Davis, you have to throw a lot of strikes. You're not going to catch him with the first one, the second one. Maybe the third or fourth will do it. Right now, Ryan Bader really stuck in a 2-punch mode. He hasn't thrown those long combinations you need to hit a guy who's moving a lot. Phil Davis really moving a lot.
Over the top, Bader saw it coming. Still can't get him down. But he tried.
He tried. He's going for it.
Right.
Points for aggression. Nice body kick.
Papio Gomez also worked the striking in Bader's camp for this fight. He's worked with guys like Jose Aldo. Totally different vibe for Ryan Bader as he makes his Bellator debut. Right to the top. Originally it was supposed to be King Mo. Instead it's a title fight, and that's good for everybody.
That's an upgrade.
That is an upgrade, and we love it.
Love King Mo, great fighter, but the belt being on the line, that adds something to this fight for sure.
To a really cool night.
Yes. So far, it's looking a lot like the first fight. Not a whole lot of activity in terms of significant strikes. Both guys really trying to find their rhythm, but the target is elusive. What does that lead to, Goldie? Tough rounds to score.
Yes.
Scorecards that could be all over the place.
Which could lead to a very close split decision that the guy who lost really disagrees with.
As they almost always do.
Yeah, which I think already happened. 30. Heavy kick. Fedor, I like, faked the shot, came over the top.
If he can come back in his last 20 seconds and do some damage and maybe take this round. So far, Phil Davis ahead barely, basically based on activity.
Final seconds of round 2. Order right now, live on pay-per-view. They finally fight. Chael Sonnen, Wanderlei Silva, Fedor enters the Bellator cage for the first time. Matt Mitrione, his opponent, 2 titles on the line. Round 3. About 20 minutes away from our live pay-per-view. Before that, somebody's gonna leave this cage with a belt around their waist. So far, Jimmy, it's pretty tough to tell which guy.
Yeah, very, very tough.
Fedor again switches the stance.
And you wonder how much that feeling for Phil Davis of, you know, I didn't quite do enough last time. I didn't quite put my stamp on the rounds like I should have. How much that stays with him tonight? How much is he going to turn it up? Feeling that, man, I just didn't do enough last time. Will that motivate him? Because right now, this fight looks like the last fight, which could go either way.
And both men said they didn't like the first fight. And both men have evolved greatly since that first fight.
Oh, Superman right hand. Nice left. Both of those landed.
Yep, the Superman punch and then the follow-up. That was the best combination of the fight for Davis.
Best so far.
Fedor.
A lot of times, Fedor's letting Phil Davis initiate and trying to counter over the top.
Third 5-round fight of Phil Davis's career. 4th 5-round fight of Ryan Bader's career. Up the middle.
What's interesting is they both had little moments, but it's nothing they can easily replicate. It's like both guys are moving, they're throwing stuff, sometimes stuff is landing, but neither guy has found like, okay, this is how I'm gonna beat the other guy on the feet.
Yep.
They haven't found the path to success on the feet yet.
On the feet is where this entire fight has taken place too.
No one's successful with the takedown yet. Davis has tried, it hasn't worked. Now, Bader has to follow up on things like that. If he snaps the head back, gotta come back with the right, the left, over the top, 3-4 punches.
He's got that heavy overhand right.
And he's hit him a couple times with the jab. But it's been one and done both times in this round.
Had the highlight reel finish with that vicious knee in Germany on Alir Latifi. Perfectly timed.
This crowd already on it. They're a little spoiled. We've got a lot of finishes tonight.
That's a great point.
Tough acts to follow early on in the card. For those of you who didn't catch it, man, James Gallagher, he looked incredibly impressive. Great stuff all night.
Fedor opened his MMA career with 13 straight victories, 5 of those in the UFC. His first professional loss to some young dude named John Jones.
Never heard of him.
Me neither.
Yeah, he's good.
He's decent.
I've heard stuff.
Yeah.
No shame in that loss.
No shame. Lead uppercut. Phil Davis able to elude damage once again. Under a minute here in the third.
Ryan Bader hasn't really found a home for his power punches. He's landed once or twice with the jab in this round. Hasn't been able to follow it up with the right hand, the left hook, any power kicks. Add that 2 or 3, he might be able to catch Phil Davis, but so far it's been 1s and 2s, and that's not quite enough.
Keep an eye on the kicks that are blocked by the forearm, because those will break a forearm.
Oh, they suck.
There's a takedown, first of the fight, and it's Bader. Look at the clock though, Jimmy, just 15 seconds remains here in the third, but a big takedown late
for the guillotine.
Bader.
Not gonna get it.
Davis on top.
Right underneath you, take a seat. Right underneath you. Sit here. Yes, breathe. Forward. Breathe, breathe. Very good takedown. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, friend. Breathe, friend. Segura aí, Rafa. Segura aqui. Breathe. Breathe, friend. You good? You will win, man. 2 more rounds. You will win. Good time, double leg. Feel okay? Right. Use the more real chest. No moment to win. Oh, sorry.
Championship rounds. Phil Davis has gone the distance twice. The 5-round distance, he is 1-1 in those fights. Bader went the distance, 5 rounds in a non-title main event against Owen St. Preux and won by unanimous decision. Jimmy, how do you have it?
I have a 3-0 for Phil Davis. He landed the right hook, left combo is the best sequence of the fight so far. It's almost exclusively activity in the first 2 rounds. He's just been a little busier. He cannot feel good about the scorecard right now. I don't feel good about it. I'm not sure about the first 2 rounds. Even round number 3 maybe, but it's the fact that neither guy's landed much, has done much for the judges to score. That's the hard part. Looks a lot like their first fight. Wouldn't be surprised if the scorecards are all over the place.
You gotta give the judges something to judge. Look at me, come here.
You just said has to give the judges something.
You gotta fight. Come on, you're paid to fight. Hands up, ready, time in, fight.
You know when that happens, there's not a lot of activity. A lot of people right now giving Ryan Bader the first round. Sure, you certainly could. Depends on what you're looking at. My point is, neither guy has had that decisive round. Hasn't happened yet.
Davis changed levels there, tried to come over the top. Bader fights it off again. Nicely
best punch of the fight for him.
Absolutely. Counter uppercut.
If the combination was there, he might catch Phil at the end of his punches. Because Phil tends to get out of position, he tends to lean into shots, he tends to be off balance a lot. Nice head kick. Only caught the back of the head though, just grazed him.
Right now, top of the hour. 10 in the East, 7 in the West. It is the ultimate grudge match. Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva. Chael and I were actually in the movie Grudge Match.
Yeah, we were. Heard he was fun to work with on that. Had quite the jokes.
He's actually got a lot of personality. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hardly ever talked. Quiet guy. Hardly ever talked.
Yeah. Very introverted.
Yeah. He comes out of his shell at a weigh-in, though.
Yeah, he does. man, Phil's really trying to wing that counter overhand right. Bader with the question mark kick. So first title fight in Bader's MMA career. He was always knocking on the door.
Always right there.
Yep. And couldn't get past that title contender matchup. Those are heavy.
Those guys look like they're trying to counter punch, trying to catch the other guy off balance. Not being aggressive and initiating with more than one shot.
One minute. They split jabs.
They talked about how much they improved, how much they didn't like the first fight, time in the morning and all this stuff. But I think this is what you get when you get these two guys together. They have a healthy respect for one another. They're both hard to take down. It's just one of those things. But this is how their styles match up. They're very, very respectful. It's hard for them to land.
A couple of good knees landed in the midsection of Bader. And it's probably 4 a.m. in Sweden right now as well.
Let's put it that way.
Round 4 in the books. The American Gangster and the Axe Murderer collide live on pay-per-view. Still to come, or coming up next.
However you want to say it, Goldie.
However we do tonight, Jimmy. Been a blast. 5th and final round.
The last round to Ryan Bader, who landed the most significant strike of the round. He's finding his range a little bit better, but once again, a close one.
So overall, you have it 3 rounds to 1
3 rounds
Davis.
to 1, yes. Okay. But none of those rounds were significantly in either guy's camp. Wouldn't surprise me if the scorecards are all over the board.
We've seen that.
Yeah, many, many times. Oh, good stuff. When they lock up, you see Ryan Bader just so much stronger. So that's great wrestle, maybe slicker, a little more technique, but when it's strength against strength, Ryan Bader, he flings him.
He's a very strong, powerful, dangerous dude. And Aaron Simpson, who fought professional MMA and was an assistant coach at ASU with Cain Velasquez and CB Dalloway and Ryan, said Ryan's just mean. He's just a mean training partner, mean fighter. He hadn't been as mean as I would think the A-Train would want him to be thus far, but he's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds to do so still. Just get me. Look to finish this and take all the mystery out of it.
Now, as a fighter, when you take on somebody better and you get beat, there's some solace in that. He's better than me, he beat me. When you think, I just didn't do enough, I just didn't quite do enough, that's a haunting feeling. And right now, so far in this fight, both guys can feel that way. They need to really let it all out in round 5.
And that's how Phil felt, pardon me, about the first meeting.
Yeah, could have done a little bit more.
Yep.
Because this could go either way to the judges, and either way would be appropriate. But it's, the guy who lost is going to go, man, if I just finished a little stronger, if I'd done a little bit more.
If it's a Bader win, they go, okay. If it's a Davis win, I can argue that as well.
Yeah.
The fans excited for the pay-per-view. The last Emperor, Fedor, Bellator cage. It is going to happen. And don't forget get Wanderlei, Silva, Chael, Sonnen. 2 main events from here inside the Mecca. Past the midway point of the 5th and final round. Takedown number 2 for Bader.
And so Phil Davis goes right to the wrestling escape. He doesn't try and turn and get guard. He hops right back to his feet, just like you would in a collegiate wrestling match. Bader can't keep him down. That takedown could give him the edge in the scoring.
I was thinking
very close round.
Yep.
He's had some success with that counter uppercut, that counter right hand.
90 seconds.
It's been his inability to really follow up on those strikes that he's been able to land.
Bader southpaw back, orthodox. See if somebody really wings it.
Phil Davis has been winging it a lot, not able to connect.
Nope. There's the overhand right from Bader.
Bader has a big head, but it's been just out of line. He's been able to move just enough to avoid the big winging shots of Phil Davis.
Under a minute. Bader with the counter. Ducks under. A lot of swelling under the left eye of Phil Davis. Bader turning it up here in the 5th.
Come on, guys, finish strong. Let's go. Come on.
Good timing on the takedown so far. Wasn't able to get that one. He hasn't lunged for them. He's waited for Phil Davis to come in. That's why he's been more successful with him.
Final seconds of the fight. They go the distance. We will find out who will leave with the belt. That is coming up next, right here on Spike. Jimmy R. Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay, the bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Well, unfortunately, it looked a lot like the first fight. Both guys throwing, not landing a whole lot of significant strikes. Phil Davis trying to initiate. Ryan Bader taking his time, trying to land counter punches, getting a couple of takedowns, but a lot of back and forth rounds with no decisive winner. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges have to say.
With the official decision, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Sal D'Amato, scores the fight 49-46. He sees the fight for Bader. Your second judge, Jeff Mullen, scores the fight 48-47. He sees the fight for Davis. Your third and final judge, Derek Cleary, scores the fight 49-46 for the winner by split decision. And now the new Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Ryan Bader is the new Bellator champion. We will talk to Ryan Bader later on pay-per-view. The night continues. Order right now. 5 more fights. Ryan Bader, congratulations. You are the new champion.
All right, Tale of the Tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
Now look at the height advantage of Douglas Lima. He is massive for the welterweight division.
Here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight from Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, live on pay-per-view, welcome to Bellator NYC, presented by Miller Lite. The action begins with 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Welterweight World Championship. sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission and brought to you tonight by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports. And now, introducing first the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 169.8 pounds, the highly ranked contender tonight in his Bellator debut enters with 18 professional victories, 5 defeats. From Riverside, California, presenting the challenger, Lorenz the Monsoon Larkin. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 170 pounds even. The two-time champion tonight makes his first defense after regaining the title, bringing 28 professional victories, 6 defeats. Originally from Goiânia, Goiás, Brazil, he fights out of Atlanta, Georgia, the defending Bellator welterweight world champion, Douglas the Phenom Lima. And the referee in charge of the action, Big John McCarthy.
Gentlemen, got over the rules in the back. I want you to protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. I want you to fight hard but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck to both of you.
The best in the game, Big John McCarthy, the third man inside the Bellator MMA cage, scheduled for 5 rounds for the Bellator Welterweight Championship. Douglas Lima, the Bellator Welterweight Champion, in the midst of his second reign.
You ready? You know.
The bell and round 1. The fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers, it's Miller time. And it is the champion, Lima, in the red gloves, the challenger, Larkin, in the blue gloves. And Jimmy, both of these warriors capable of stealing the other's soul with their striking prowess.
And they both know it. There's a tremendous amount of respect between these two fighters.
Early feeling out process as Lima fires the first salvo, low outside leg kick to the lead leg of Lorenz Larkin, known as Monsoon. And boy, blew into strike force, opened up a lot of eyes, and then of course went on to the UFC, where he leaves with a 2-fight winning streak, winner of his 4 of his last 5 fights. Lots of momentum coming into this high-pressure Bellator debut.
Douglas Lima, if there's a weakness to his style, he tends to overemphasize the power punches. A lot of right hands, a lot of left hooks. Doesn't jab that often. Both guys starting with the leg kicks.
Larkin told us going 5 rounds is not a concern. He feels that it's more of a mind game. He just has to make sure his mind knows that he's ready to go all 5, as Lima with a body kick.
One thing is, Lima has gone 5 rounds. He's never won a 5-round decision. When he lost to Ben Askren, he lost to Koreshkov. He was out-wrestled in both of those fights and lost a 5-round decision. So he hasn't exactly done well over 25 minutes either. Keep that in mind.
Unlike our main event, or one of our 2 main events tonight between Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva, there is mutual respect between these 2 gladiators, and we're seeing it early on, Jimmy.
A ton. Sean Merriman, he's checking us out. It's a tough question to ask anybody who has broken this fight down. It's hard to pick a winner between Lima and Larkin.
Right hand down the middle by Lima. Social media buzzing for Bellator NYC live on pay-per-view. And there's a Bellator veteran also using his fingers to tweet tonight.
He's backing his fellow champ. No surprise there. There's always that extra edge when you're a, quote, Bellator fighter and free agents come in. You want to defend your territory, defend your promotion, defend your belt. Nice check of that leg kick.
Well, we saw at the end of Bellator 180 live on Spike, Ryan Bader defeating Phil Davis for the 2nd time via split decision, but this time he becomes the new Bellator light heavyweight champion. Lorenz Larkin would like to continue that trend tonight. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the opening round. A lot of feints, a lot of stutter steps, But not a lot of contact yet, Jimmy.
They're both so wary of the other's power. They both know this can be finished with one punch. They don't want to walk into it.
Again, Lima attacking the lead leg of Lorenz Larkin. Coming up on the final 90 seconds of the first frame, scheduled for 5 for the Bellator Welterweight Championship. Nice 1-2 combination by Larkin.
That was quick.
Lead right hand by the champion Lima.
It's going to be hard to land. He needs to set up a jab hook, leg kicks.
Oh, Larkin switches to a southpaw stance. Switches back to orthodox, trying to befuddle the champion Douglas Lima. Final 60 seconds of a getting to know you round 1.
Right now, just give a slight edge to Lima. His leg kicks have been a little bit more effective.
And he has Larkin up against the fence momentarily. Lima misses with that roundhouse kick. Now Larkin coming in with a lead right hand, followed up with a left. Again, high-level welterweights for the Bellator 170-pound championship. Are you surprised at all by the start, Jimmy?
No, I'm not. I expect this to be a slow burn fight where they feel each other out, maybe get going rounds 2 and 3. Nice body kick.
Oh, right uppercut, which allowed Lima to close the distance, land the left hand, has Larkin pinned against the fence in the final seconds of the opening round.
Look at the leg kicks. To me, those were the most effective strikes of the first round. And you see Lima has checked a few, and he came back with his own, and they turned Lorenz Larkin a little bit. The only real edge I saw in the fight. Incredibly close first round.
Olha o teu tempo da casa, 3-2, na lata. Entendeu?
Someone who is watching with vested interest, Rory Macdonald, my fellow Canadian, who is, well, wanting to take fellow Bellator welterweight's health.
Couldn't have done a whole lot better against Paul Semtex Daly. He looked amazing in that fight.
An incredible Bellator MMA debut for Rory Macdonald. What's his nickname these days? I know he tends to change it every so often.
I think it's still the Red King, but the Canadian Psycho.
I love the Canadian
Psycho. That one's gaining traction among us here in Bellator. Just throwing that out there. He said, I want to take your health with dead cold eyes. That's the only thing you can think of.
Second round underway here between Bellator welterweight champion Douglas Lima and the challenger Bellator MMA newcomer Lorenz Larkin. And now Lima looking to try to establish the jab. Goes underneath the armpit with that right kick and then attacks the lead leg down low. How did you score the opening 5 minutes, Jimmy?
Once again, by the barest of margins, 10-9 Lima based on those leg kicks.
Nice combination put together by Lorenz Larkin.
And that's key. When Larkin puts combinations together, you see the hand speed. He is very, very quick.
Just out of range of that attack by Douglas Lima was Larkin. Larkin pawing at Lima with the jab, trying to mesmerize him so he can follow up with something a little more vicious.
One is not going to do it. Both these guys need to throw in combination. And as we've seen, I mean, Douglas Lima tends to over-rely on the straight right hand.
Now Larkin comes in, but the kick was blocked, but an aggressive push by Larkin, who attacks the lead leg of Lima down low. 90 seconds gone in the second round.
Larkin now starting to open up, starting to throw combinations, driving Lima back. Not much landing, but showing that aggressiveness. Another great leg kick.
Yeah,
the nose.
Lima picked off Larkin there, but yeah, Larkin punishing Lima's nose, and it's beginning to leak plasma. Now they swing extend, and Larkin connected with that right hand that caught the champion's attention. Larkin trying to impose his will and skill on Lima now. Lima catches Larkin with the left. Down goes Larkin, ground and pound from Lima.
Shades of Koreshkov caught him coming in.
Lima was slashing elbows as well as the champion dropped Lorenz Larkin with that nice left hook.
Larkin's trying to keep him close. If you're Douglas Lima, you want to stand up and get back to striking because he is hurt.
And Larkin doing his best to control Lima's posture inside the closed guard. Lima very well balanced when it comes to his successful offense. He does have 11 submission wins to go along with 13 KO victories.
That cannot be what's on his mind. You have a guy hurt, finish him with strikes. I expect him to stand up out of this. No, he's staying on with the ground and pound. Interesting choice.
Under 2 minutes left, he passes the guard into side control as Larkin trying to scramble back to his feet. And he's able to do so. But a good sequence for the Bellator welterweight champion, Douglas Lima.
That was almost finished right there, Mauro. Make no mistake.
And again, the lead left hook by Lima.
Lima looks tired, though. I think he spent a lot of energy trying to get the finish there. He's giving Lorenz Larkin time to clear his head. Nice kick.
Larkin has tasted defeat on 5 occasions, including being stopped once in his career via strikes, but Lima unable to finish him here in round 2, the final minute now of the second round. Lima walking down Larkin, Larkin keeping him at bay with that pawing jab as, again, Lima goes to that lead left hook.
And he's realizing he can't just throw the straight right.
Punches were blocked by Larkin, who delivers a right cross of his own. Final 30 seconds of the second round. Larkin just missed with that right uppercut and almost got clipped with that right cross from Lima. Again, Lima changing up his attack, attacking that lead leg, attacking the base.
And both guys have shown that they have speed and finishing ability in this round.
A good round for the champion, Lima.
Look at it here. Lima was coming. Lima had eaten some good shots, but look at it here. I think it's the left hook, just like Koreshkov. Bang! Right on the chin. That dropped Larkin, but he wasn't able to finish. Larkin was able to clear his head and get back in this fight. Be careful when you have Douglas Lima cornered. He is like a cornered animal. He will fight back. That's what Koreshkov found out the hard way. That's why Lima's the champ.
Take care of that thing for me, D. You look pretty.
Douglas Lima, the most knockouts in Bellator history with 8. Would love to put Lorenz Larkin on ice in Larkin's Bellator MMA debut. Had an opportunity there in the second round. But Larkin has proven to be resilient in his past MMA career and comes into his first MMA fight for Bellator with plenty of momentum. Round 3 underway.
One thing you have to keep in mind is that Douglas Lima tends to fight in spurts. He tends to be active and take breaks like he's worried about his gas tank.
Body kick by Lima. Larkin told us that he feels he's more of a fluid striker, where Lima's more of a powerhouse. Larkin feels that he doesn't throw a lot of crazy strikes, speaking about the champion, but he's a powerhouse, so any of his strikes could knock you out. He doesn't use a lot of setups.
Yeah, very, very basic. Comes in 1, 2, 3. A lot of faith in that right hand. Leg kicks, right hand. That's the meat and potatoes of his offense. You see what I'm talking about? He tends to back off, take little breaks, then he'll lunge forward.
And that's where Larkin has to take advantage of those opportunities.
He's got to be active when Lima is inactive.
Another body kick by Lima. Larkin back in a southpaw stance. How did you score round 2, Mr. Smith?
Much easier. 10-9 for Lima. Really had Larkin hurt. Veteran move by Larkin to keep Lima close on the ground, get his breath back, get back into the fight.
Again, just a lead right hand attacking the shoulder there was Lima. And again, that body kick, but Larkin from the southpaw stance circling to his right where he has been clipped with that left hook.
Yes. Think about the psychological aspect too. He was moving forward, he was landing in combination, then bang, Lima hits him. It might stifle Larkin's offense just a little bit. So everything was looking good right when he got dropped.
Larkin content in staying in the southpaw stance, busy trying to establish that right jab inside low kick by the champion Lima. Grew up watching movies like Kickboxer, inspiring him to fight and using his kicks deftly tonight.
Nice right hand.
What does Larkin have to do a better job of as this fight progresses in terms of trying to close the distance on the champion, Jim?
Angle, then attack. Right now, he's angling on the outside defensively. It's hard for Lima to get a read on him. What he has to do is cut the angle and then come in when Lima's unprepared.
And Lima just planted another stiff jab on the mug of Lorenz Larkin. Coming up next, many call him the next big thing in mixed martial arts. It's the much ballyhooed debut of 20-year-old Aaron Pico, whose playpen, well, might as well have been a wrestling mat, right?
Yeah, very true. Started very young. And basically skipped his high school and college careers and went straight to try to make the Olympic team. Came within a point of it.
Literally bred to be a mixed martial artist. Started boxing at a young age and will make his pro debut tonight as Larkin landed that left body kick to the champion Lima.
So far, Lima's landed a little bit cleaner. I thought that right hand pushed him back.
And of course, we can't discount the altar boy Zach Freeman. Would love to spoil Aaron Pico's professional debut coming up.
8-2, the guy has real experience.
Under a minute and a half left here in round 3. Body kick by Lima.
Larkin's having trouble right now getting through the defense of Douglas Lima.
Yeah, and just
another good right.
Got caught with another right hand from the champion Douglas Lima.
And I think Lima, to his part, has been less active but more effective. I think when he has thrown, it's driven Larkin back.
And
got a punch to the gut.
Some sportsmanship there by Lima and touches gloves with Larkin. That may have been just below the equator. There's a jab by Larkin, but Larkin's scouting report seems to be proving to be accurate thus far, Jimmy, in terms of Lima just loading up on all his shots.
But he's been able to catch Larkin intermittently with those strikes.
And there, again,
so once again, he kind of waits for Larkin to open up a little bit and he throws something at him. Not a lot of combinations. Larkin, for his part, been throwing combinations that hasn't been landing effectively.
Exactly. Final 10 seconds of the third round. Here at Madison Square Garden, the mecca of combat sports, and Lima trying to unload on Larkin to punctuate his performance in the round. I had the pleasure of covering this man's legendary career in Japan for the Pride Fighting Championships, where he went undefeated in 15 fights. He is 2-0 since ending his 3-year retirement in 2015. Comes into Bellator with a 5-fight win streak. He is Fedor Emelianenko.
Incredible power, incredible ability, incredible athlete right there in Matt Mitrione. A big heavyweight, but light on his feet, good angles, good combinations. This is the biggest test of his career against Fedor Emelianenko. We'd love to have that name on his list of wins.
That's one of our 2 main events coming your way later tonight. Fedor's Bellator debut against Matt Mitrione, who was 2-0 in the Bellator MMA cage.
All right, you ready? Let's get up.
It's the penultimate round in this 5-round championship affair. And Jimmy, I know we just started working together, but I think I can read your mind. Do you have the champion pitching a shutout thus far?
Thus far, yes. Round 1 could easily go either way. I thought round 2, of course, he hurt him. Round 3, he just landed the more effective strikes. Larkin was busier, however.
Douglas Lima, the champion in the red gloves. The challenger, Lorenz Larkin, in his Bellator debut, sporting the blue gloves. And he needs to see an uptick in his offense. Has to try to solve the path to the champion, Douglas Lima. Has to find a way to negotiate that distance, Jimmy.
And Lima has been effective when Larkin hasn't had room to move, and his back's been toward the fence. He's been a little crowded. That's when Lima has really unloaded.
Lima continues to take pot shots at the lead leg. Talk about that strategy and how effective it can be, Jimmy.
Rounds 4 and 5, that leg just won't work. You have trouble turning on it, you have trouble moving. Really shuts down a guy who moves and cuts angles, which Lorenz Larkin loves to do.
There's a left kick underneath the right arm of Douglas Lima, but single shots, Jimmy, aren't going to get it done.
Well, the thing is, in Lima, you can call his style basic, which I do. He generally throws the right hand over the top, left hooks and leg kicks, but he always keeps his hands high. He doesn't play that much. He'll drop a little bit on the outside, but when he's in close, he keeps those hands very, very high.
And that's something we haven't seen a lot of in terms of punches to the body. We've seen body kicks, but you saw Lima change his trajectory and begin to attack the midriff of Lorenz Larkin.
Wondering if in this 4th round, Lorenz Larkin turns it up. He needs these championship rounds. One of the first 3 could have easily gone his way to the judges. You never know.
Just like Mars back in the day, Jimmy, Larkin needs to pump up that volume. As the lead left hook.
Well, that's an old school reference, buddy.
Hey, I'm almost 50, you know.
50 years young, my friend.
We are just past the midpoint of round number 4. Lima continues to walk down Larkin in that southpaw stance and landing the jab. And the fans at home enjoying the action. And we have seen spurts of that back and forth action, but I don't think we've seen the fistic fireworks that we anticipated, and there are a few reasons why, Jim.
Yeah, a lot of respect. Both guys are tricky opponents, especially Larkin. He angles a lot. It's hard to get a read on him.
Oh, there's a left hook and a left kick that lands for Larkin.
Yeah, Larkin getting a little busier in this 4th round.
That may very well have been his best sustained offense of the fight.
Now, Lorenz Larkin doesn't move at Douglas Lima's pace. He just doesn't. But what Douglas Lima has done is he's made him punch at Lima's pace. He has him in that busy with his hands.
Again, the lead right hand by Lima scores, and then he lands the jab.
It's always 1 or 2. He just backs off after him. And he's been less effective, I think, in this 4th round. Lima hasn't thrown like he did in the first 3.
There's a front kick by Lorenz Larkin. Side kick, oblique kick there by Larkin. Coming up on the final minute of the 4th round, and Larkin beginning to loosen up a bit here in round 4.
Now he has Lima against the fence. Let's see if he presses. Surprised we haven't seen a takedown so far from Larkin. You know, try it, give it a shot, see if you can get him to the ground. Maybe ice a close round.
Sharp body kick by Lima. Larkin double pumping the jab, coming in, but gets tripped up by the champion. And now in the open guard, Douglas Lima will try to capitalize on this situation as again Larkin immediately controls the champion's posture.
He's very good at that. Now Lima advancing to half guard. This is a close round. Let's see if he can maybe get a little offense going, turn it his way.
Larkin wall walking back to a vertical base, now turning the champion up against the fence. Final few seconds of what has been Lorenz Larkin's best round. Has it been enough to get the round on Jimmy Smith's scorecard? We'll find out.
And Lorenz Larkin turning it up a little bit more, but look at that. Once again, you get Lima cornered. He's gonna fire back, especially with that left hook. It didn't land. He was able to push Larkin back and get on top. But throughout that fourth round, Lorenz Larkin a little bit busier. Douglas Lima kind of took the round off a little bit. Didn't throw like he did in the first three.
Well, two MMA icons, the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz, and the man who once spanked Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture. Literally, my man. So great to see MMA luminaries here at cage side for what is the biggest night in Bellator MMA history. It is about legends, it's about champions, and coming up next, will it be about the most talked about prospect in MMA, Aaron Pico? Right now, it's all about the Bellator Welterweight Championship as we head into the fifth and final round. Sportsmanship, lots of respect. So, did Lorenz Larkin finally get a round on your unofficial scorecard, Jimmy?
Yeah, I believe he did. I gave him around 10-9. Once again, extremely close.
On Jimmy's scorecard, you have it 39-37 for the champion. So, and now knowing, honestly, you are one of the best at what you do, and it's not easy. We're trying to tell the story of the fight, and you are always
tough job.
Bang on, my man.
It's a thankless job. It's a thankless job. Ask Twitter. It's a thankless job.
If that's the case, Larkin needs to really close the show here in the fifth frame. Front snap kick by Lima.
The only round that was really decisive, in my opinion, was round two. When he hurt him, knocked him down, couldn't finish him. Other than that, it's been Lima, I think, a little more effective, but Lorenz Larkin a lot busier.
Larkin trying to cut off the cage, trying to walk down the champion, pawing at him with the jab, but needs to put together a combination. And after 20 minutes of action, wow, this is how close this fight is. According to CompuStrike, dead even in terms of arm strikes landed and almost in terms of punches thrown.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So we expected it to be a hotly contested, competitive affair, and the numbers bear that out. Oh, jumping,
getting creative in
back kick by Larkin. Larkin also very creative with the hairstyle, always representing his hometown of Riverside, California. Riverside Bell would love to ring champion Douglas Lima's bell here in the fifth frame.
Millennium MMA, great team out there, been out there forever. Lima's a lot less active in this fifth round.
Douglas Lima training out of American Top Team in Atlanta. Midpoint of the fifth and final round. Lima lands the jab. Larkin back to a southpaw stance. Does this behoove him, Jimmy? Fighting as a lefty.
I think anything that changes it up and maybe opens up Lima is a good idea. He hasn't really been able to get past the defense yet. Caught him with the left hand coming in, just grazed him with it again.
Coming up on the final 2 minutes of this championship fight for the Bellator welterweight crown. Body kick again scores for Lima. Yes, again with the left hook, which has been his money punch so far in this fight. Larkin trying to blind him with the flurry of jabs.
Under 2 minutes, this is where if you have something to take, you got to spend it. You can't take your punches home with you.
And it looks like Larkin is trying to do just that. Has to be cognizant that time is becoming potentially his worst enemy. 90 seconds left in the fight. Again, that lead left hook by Lima scores. The sense of urgency definitely in the body language is with the challenger Larkin.
Lima, though, can't feel great about the scorecard. There's been a lot of close rounds. He hasn't been very active in rounds 4 and 5. Another good body kick, nice leg kick. Man, they can both do it.
Under a minute left in the fight. We are just getting started here on pay-per-view. Bellator NYC. Mauro Ranallo, Jimmy Smith at cage side. Mike Goldberg, Brendan Schaub, Josh Thompson, Jen Brown. Also a part of our, I'll say it, all-star broadcast crew, my man.
All the best in the business in this building. It's amazing.
30 seconds left in the fight.
I will get an angry tweet from Joe Rogan, but that's okay.
Well,
I don't
Joe
mind.
is the man. And of course, Joe Rogan, Boss Room, Jimmy Smith. I wonder what you guys all have in common. I guess it's a prerequisite. You guys have to be bald or shave your heads to be the best at what you do.
We hate hair. We all do.
Final 15 seconds of this Bellator welterweight title tilt. Body kick again by Lima. And it looks like we are headed to the judges' scorecards to determine who will walk out of MSG Bellator welterweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Chris Lee, scores the fight 50-45. Well, judges Dave Torelli and Doug Crosby both see the fight the same, 48-47. All see it for the winner by unanimous decision. And still, Bellator welterweight world champion, Douglas "The Phenom" Lima.
So Douglas Lima spoils the Bellator debut of Lorenz Larkin, retaining the Bellator welterweight title. Let's go up to Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with the winner and still champ, Douglas Lima. It looked like every time he got aggressive, every time he put you against the fence, you answered with power punches, able to counter over the top. You think that was the key tonight?
Just before I answer, thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this win. Oh man, I'm so blessed. I've been through a lot to get here. And just thank you, Lord. Man, he messed me up when he switched left-handed. I couldn't get the distance too good, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's just a tough guy, man. It was an honor for me to share the cage with a guy like that. He's just a tough guy.
Speaking of tough guys, speaking of free agents, speaking of people who want that belt, Rory Macdonald is cage side. You know he's next. What are your words for him, brother?
Come get it. Come get it. I know he's been through a lot of tough fights, but wait until he come and face me. You'll see what a tough fight is.
You heard it from the champ, Douglas Lima. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, the tail of the tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
What else can you highlight but the record? 8-2 for Zach Freeman, pro debut for Aaron Pico.
All right, with the official introductions, here's Michael C. Williams.
Live on pay-per-view from the Garden here in New York City, Bellator MMA, Bellator NYC, presented by Miller Lite, now moves the lightweight division set for 3 5-minute rounds is brought to you by Spike Sports. We introduce the blue corner first. At 6 foot, weighing in 155.8 pounds, his professional record, 8 wins with 2 defeats from St. Louis, Missouri, presenting the altar boy, Zach Freeman. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 156 pounds even. The highly decorated amateur boxer and wrestler tonight makes his long-awaited professional and Bellator debut from Whittier, California, introducing Aaron Pico. Get him, boy, get him, boy. In charge of the action, referee Rob Hines.
All the way back.
In life, you get one opportunity to make a first impression. Aaron Pico's pro debut begins right now against Zach Freeman. 3 5-minute rounds in the Bellator MMA cage. And he's hurt. Freeman already rocked. Pico and Freeman looking for the choke.
That's a tight guillotine.
The hype train has just derailed.
gentlemen, Zach Freeman finishes it in the first round.
In a New York minute, Zach Freeman has just spoiled Aaron Pico's professional debut.
What did we say, Mauro? There's nothing like MMA. Throw out the gym stories, throw about what happened in class, what happened when we were sparring. This is real.
The world,
and
baby.
Zach Freeman is right. He just shocked the world.
The Altar Boys' prayers have been answered. Lightning quick victory. Tonight, it's all about Zach Freeman. Stunning.
You could have called this fight all or nothing for Aaron Pico. Got hurt early, choked early. Man, what a job by Zach Freeman.
Zach Freeman overwhelmed with emotion. Zach Freeman out of St. Louis, Missouri, has not fought since coming off a loss for the RFA lightweight title against Thiago Moises last September. Comes into the Bellator MMA cage, and like you said, Jimmy, he just derailed Aaron Pico's hype train. And to be fair, Jimmy, this is Aaron Pico's professional debut. Bernard Hopkins lost his first fight and became a boxing legend.
Oh, the sky's still the limit for Aaron Pico, but the idea that he put so much into this opening, so much was behind him, and he lost. That's a big psychological blow. See if he can come back.
All right, time for the Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay. The bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
It started off with a knee. They were in here. Oh, uppercut. Thought he kneed him. It's an uppercut. Right into the guillotine. And look, he goes right after it, gets his hand underneath. Only a half guard, but that's all it takes. Bang, look at that uppercut. That rocked him. And then confidence in his finishing ability. This is how he's used to finishing fights. Goes for the power guillotine, pushes it up from underneath. Aaron Pico, no choice but to tap. And he was actually put out at the same time.
Zach Freeman has just recorded the 4th fastest submission in Bellator MMA history. Aaron Pico was gone in 24 seconds.
Let's check it out in real time. Aaron Pico comes out aggressively like we expected. See, I thought maybe that knee had started off. I was wrong. It's the uppercut. Bang! Aaron Pico never given a chance to get back into this fight. Great pressure, great confidence by Zach Freeman. Beautiful job on this guillotine. Aaron Pico held out as long as he could. You see, he went out as he tapped. Great stuff. Great stuff by Zach Freeman.
A stunning turn of events with the official announcement. Let's go back to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes officially by way of a Darce choke. The time, 24 seconds of round number 1. The winner by submission, the Altar Boy, Zach Freeman.
All right, let's go up to Jimmy Smith, who is joined by the happiest man in Madison Square Garden.
Mike, turn around.
In a night that was supposed to be about the debut of Aaron Pico, you made it about Zach Freeman. Did you know it the whole time, man?
You know what? The power of belief in this life. Anything can happen, but you have to believe it.
It was the uppercut that rocked him and hurt him, went right for the guillotine. How much confidence did you have in that submission? It was the first thing you went for when you thought you had him hurt.
I won the world championships in Jiu-Jitsu last year with the same move. Even my left hand, my right arm's a strong one, but you know what? Anyone gives me their neck, night-night.
Moving forward, you know the names in this division. You just put yourself right up with them. Anybody on your radar?
Everybody.
You heard it, Zach Freeman. Zach Freeman is ready for anybody. Give him a hand.
It is time for the Bellator Lightweight Championship. Tail of the Tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
Like they talked about at the booth, Brent Primus, a giant at 155, 5'10", and a 4-inch reach advantage.
All right, with the official introductions, here is the voice of Bellator MMA, Michael C. Williams.
From Madison Square Garden tonight, live on pay-per-view, Miller Lite presents tonight's second world title fight here at Bellator NYC. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. And now, from the Garden, we introduce the blue corner first. At 5'10", weighing in 154.2 pounds, in his first challenge for a world title, he comes in undefeated with 7 wins, no defeats, fighting out of Eugene, Oregon, introducing the challenger, Brent Primus. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 153.8 pounds. The two-time champion tonight in his 9th world title fight stands with 16 professional victories, 3 defeats. Originally from High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of Lantana, Florida, presenting a defending Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Iron Michael Chandler. In charge of the action, your referee, Todd Anderson.
Until the end, baby.
Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. I expect an active fight this evening. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now.
Todd Anderson, the man assigned to oversee this Bellator Lightweight Championship fight. The champion Michael Chandler chasing Patricio Pitbull. In terms of all-time Bellator victories, a victory tonight, he will equal the mark. That's what it's all about, the Bellator Lightweight Championship. 5-minute rounds. Fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers! It's Miller time. The champion, Michael Chandler, in the red gloves. The challenger, Brent Primus, in the blue gloves. Jimmy, you mentioned Chandler having issues in the later rounds. Well, thankfully for him, 6 of his previous 7 victories have come by KO or submission, including 4 in the first round.
And he starts so fast, most fighters just can't keep up. End up falling to his speed and power.
Chandler became a 2-time Bellator lightweight champion when he defeated Patricky Freire via knockout at Bellator 157 last June. And of course, coming off that successful title defense against Benson Henderson via split decision in what former Bellator announcer Sean Grandy called the best Bellator fight that he announced. And we wish our friend Sean all the best in his future endeavors. Oh, and Chandler knocked down by Primus, and he ain't that knee.
That was a strange fall. That hurt his knee. That's why he fell.
Oh, and Primus attacking the lead leg of Chandler.
That ankle might be broken or twisted. He's in big trouble. His ankle went out on him.
And Primus, used to quick starts, all 5 wins by KO or submission have come in the opening round. And he is looking to make short work of Michael Chandler.
Chandler is in huge trouble right now. His lead leg is done.
And Chandler tried to check that low kick by Primus. Now trying to settle back into a rhythm, trying to get that blood circulating again, Jimmy.
But talk about having a...
Oh, yeah, he can hardly stand.
It keeps folding underneath him.
And you know that Brent Primus is going to do just that, continue to target the lead leg of Chandler.
This could not have started off any worse for Michael Chandler. That ankle's just folding every time he tries to put weight on it. And with his style, he needs to put weight on it.
Now, do you agree that Brent Primus... Oh, good right out of the counter right hand from Chandler. And now Chandler looking to seize the opportunity. What an amazing start to this fight as Chandler continues to have problems with his left leg. Timeout now called by the referee.
Now, I don't understand that time. It's either over or it's not. You cannot stop it because of an injury. That should be over.
You're absolutely right, Jimmy.
If he cannot continue, it's over.
He is potentially stealing glory from Brent Primus.
You got to wave it off. You cannot stop and have him check it out. That was a legal strike. It was done by legal strikes. It is over.
Chandler saying he can go all day. but I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I've never seen this before. That's a horrible call by the ref. If he's that bad, fight's over. You can't stop and have an injury check because of a legal strike.
Well, there's no crying in baseball. There's no timeouts in MMA, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's true. Brent Primus over here yelling. He's right. Fight should be over if he can't continue.
And you know, I'm trying to add some levity, but this is serious stuff. Brent Primus should be the Bellator lightweight champion.
And to add insult to injury, they pulled the stool out from under him. That sucks. Wow. It's over.
And back-to-back shockers at Madison Square Garden. Brent Primus in his 8th professional fight. 8 is enough to become Bellator lightweight champion.
I cannot wait to see what caused it, because that ankle suddenly just could not bear any weight at all. Could have been a leg kick. Primus was leading with him.
I'm the champion!
Unfortunate turn of events where Brent Primus's title victory, the celebration overshadowed by an unfortunate mistake by the referee.
Extreme miscommunication there, but hey, we got the right result.
We did get the right result. Hallelujah. And you have to, of course, you feel for Bellator lightweight champion Michael Chandler, but let's go to the Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum replay, the Bold 93 Proof Rum that's edgy to the core.
Thank you guys so much.
Find what did it. That did it.
Well,
oh my God.
And then he ate the knee, but
he took his leg back to avoid a kick, and it just crumpled under him. Don't watch this. If you got a faint heart or a weak stomach, he stepped back to avoid the kick, and his ankle just folded. He could no longer put weight on it. There was nothing he could do at that point. And you can hear the crowd reacting to it. It just kept giving out on him. And just in case you want to see it again, it just constantly gave out on Chandler. You know, good call by the referee in terms of stopping the fight. It just shouldn't have been, you know, that injury timeout situation.
Exactly. But wow, here on the biggest event in Bellator history, the biggest victory of Brent Primus' life, he has just defeated Michael Chandler to become the new Bellator lightweight champion. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cage-side physician waves off the contest due to injury. Official time 2 minutes, 22 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO, and now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Brent Primus.
Let's go to Jimmy Smith, who is joined by the new Bellator champion at 155.
I'm here with the winner and new lightweight champion, Brent Primus. You just touched gloves with Michael Chandler and said, hey, let's do it again. I know this isn't the way you wanted to get the belt, but a great performance.
Yeah, man, I can't even put into words. I'm so excited. You guys can boo me all you want, but I've trained my butt off. I sacrificed everything. It's the name of the game. Anything can happen, you know. Man, I'm so blessed. Thank you, God. Thank you, all my family, my friends, and everybody in Eugene, Oregon, and Portland, Oregon, and Irvine, Orange County, Team Oyama, all you guys, and Gracie Baja, and Performance Martial Arts. Thank you guys so much.
Would it add something to you to get a rematch and finish him standing up like you were close to doing? His ankle went out. He was injured. I know you went after him. Would it mean more to you to get another shot at Michael Chandler and win the belt the way you wanted it?
Man, at the press conference, I told him I was going to beat him, and we're going to have a second. I'm going to give him an immediate shot. I told him that, and he deserves it. He's a champion. You know, I look up to Chandler and have for a long time, and it was a true honor to get in here and throw leather with that guy. He's a beast, you know, so I would love to do it again. Let's have a trilogy match. Let's do it again, man.
Well, congratulations to the new champ. Mike, if I can talk to you for a second. We have it on tape. That ankle went right out from under you.
Cut it off! Cut this thing off! I'll keep going!
I know you always want to keep going, but it gave out. You couldn't put any weight on it at all. How do you feel about what he said, that he'd love to do it again to win the belt?
I didn't hear a word he said. I cannot wait to get back in this cage. Bellator, New York City, I love you. Thank you guys for the support. I felt every single scream when this little thing was crippling underneath me. Thank you guys. I love you. Brent Primus, you better train freaking hard, boy, because I'm coming back with a vengeance.
You heard, let's give it up for both of them, Brent Primus and Michael Chandler, ladies and gentlemen.
We are set for the first of our two main events here at Bellator NYC. Tail of the Tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And look at the height and weight advantage for Matt Mitrione. He's the bigger man in there tonight.
With the official introductions, here once again is Michael C. Williams.
Live on pay-per-view, Miller Lite presents Bellator NYC from Madison Square Garden. We're set for the first of tonight's double main event, 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. And now, from the mecca of combat sports, we introduce the blue corner. At 6'3", weighing in 256.6 pounds. Inside the Bellator cage, he's 2-0, both wins coming by way of knockout. And as a professional, he brings 11 total victories along with 5 defeats. From Springfield, Illinois, he fights out of West Lafayette, Indiana, presenting Matt Mitrione. And across the cage is adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 236.4 pounds, with countless titles to his credit and his place in history secured. Tonight, the icon makes his Bellator debut, bringing an unparalleled professional record with 36 victories and just 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Stadionsko, Russia, introducing the last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Dan Mergliano.
All right, gentlemen, center, please. All right, gentlemen, been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Okay. All right, good luck to both of you.
Referee Dan Mergliano with his final instructions as we get set for this heavyweight tilt. Fedor Emelianenko, Matt Mitrione, Hall of Famer Royce Gracie taking in the first of this night's 2 main events.
You ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers, it's Miller time. Almost 7 years since Fedor Emelianenko has fought in the United States of America, making his Bellator MMA debut in the red gloves. Matt Mitrione in the blue gloves, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Already Matt Mitrione very aware, bouncing on his feet, trying to stay mobile. You see he likes to let his hands float really low.
And of course, Fedor looking to erase the memories of his last tenure in the United States, losing 3 in a row in the Strikeforce organization. Now on a 5-fight win streak. Can he recapture past glory? You know Matt Mitrione wants to spoil his Bellator debut, and Mitrione, of course, looking to, well, the vacancy right now in that heavyweight championship. The winner of this fight will probably move into a spot for the title.
That will be the #1 contender. The guy who wins this fight will be the one people will be looking at when it comes to who's going to be the Bellator heavyweight champ, for sure.
Oh! They both double knockdown! Fedor Emelianenko turned, and just like Dan Henderson did, it's over! It's over! Mamma mia! Meathead has done it! Matt Mitrione with another lightning-quick finish! What a night at MSG!
How many wacky things are going to happen tonight?
You might still think he's in a fight.
They hit each other at the same time, Rocky style.
Yeah,
and
Rocky
Matt
did Rocky 3.
Yeah, Matt Mitrione recovered quicker.
Wow. And I hate to say it, but we may have just seen the last Emperor's last stand. Matt Mitrione blows through Fedor Emelianenko at Madison Square Garden.
I am stunned. I can't wait to see the inside. Don't believe what I just saw. Both guys were feeling each other out as soon as he got in the range. They both struck at the exact same time.
And here's our Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay, the Bull 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core. Wow!
Right hands. Both of them threw it. Matt Mitrione just recovered faster and was able to lay it on to Fedor Emelianenko.
And remember when Dan Henderson knocked him out in similar fashion underneath the armpit with those uppercuts.
Bang! Just like Dan Henderson, those short uppercuts right underneath, right to the jaw. A guy Matt Mitrione's size doesn't take many of those to knock you out.
You know, boxing's GOAT Muhammad Ali was defeated here at Madison Square Garden. Well, MMA's GOAT, according to many, has just been defeated by Matt Mitrione at the Mecca of combat sports.
Look at it again. You're not going to see this.
Unbelievable.
Very many times in your life. A double knockdown, both with the right hand. But Matt Mitrione able to recover quicker. This is real speed. An amazing turn of events. Man, if you are not watching this live, you explain to somebody what happened, they're not going to believe you.
I can't believe it. An incredible night. Matt Mitrione improving to 3-0 in the Bellator MMA cage with the biggest win of his career, as Fedor Emelianenko being tended to Henry Hooft, one of the top striking coaches in the sport, celebrating with Mitrione. Wow. Did anyone see Bellator NYC unfolding quite this way? The former New York Giant with a giant win at Madison Square Garden. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes officially. 1 minute, 14 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout, Matt Mitrione.
Let's go up to Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with Matt Mitrione. Matt, after a double knockdown, you get up to finish the fight by TKO. You just love drama in your fights, man.
You know, I'll tell you what, man. I told my coaches and my trainers all week long, this shit's gonna be just like when I knocked out Derek Lewis. I feel it, I knew it was gonna happen, we were gonna explode at the same time, and may the best man win. Hey, by the way, please, everybody loves Fedor, man. Please give it up for Fedor, please, for coming back. That's incredible. Also, my kids, put your earmuffs on. Hey, President Trump, fuck the Golden State Warriors. I'm a real warrior. I'll come to the White House, and I'll be good and honorable. So invite me, my man. Second of all, we got Mrs. Leonard, my high school football coach's wife, and Andy Sankin. I won my fight, now you win yours. And everybody, look, Tim Hague just died in the boxing ring. Please, I'll tweet the link out today. It's at Matt Mitrione. Please, go to his GoFundMe. He's got a 9-year-old son, and he just died. Please, if you got 25 cents or $1,000, give this kid a life, please.
Talk us through the end of the fight. You were both hit. Were you aware of what was going on? Was it instinct, or were you conscious? Talk about the finish of that fight.
You know what's crazy? In the middle of the fight, he's so freaking smart. I saw him, he looked at my hips, and he was watching my feet when I was moving. And that's why I was like, oh, I want to switch it up a little bit and play around with him. So maybe I kind of confused him a wee bit, but I know that he started to engage and I engaged. I didn't know that we both dropped. I looked up and I was like, oh shit, he's on his back. And so I jumped up and started punching that cat.
So you don't remember going, boom, you were on the ground.
Hell no, I don't remember. I mean, I remember looking up and like, oh shit, I'm about to jump on him. And that's what it was, man.
Well,
go Big Blue!
Well, you keep going, you keep doing it. Matt Mitrione, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, bonus action here at Bellator NYC. Tailor the Tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And look what's highlighted, the name. Being a Gracie comes with a lot of support, also comes with a lot of pressure.
All right, with the official introductions here once again, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator NYC live tonight on pay-per-view now moves to the welterweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 170.4 pounds. His professional record: 5 wins, 2 losses, fighting out of Utica, New York, Dave Marfone. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 170.4 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 5-0 from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He fights out of New York, Raymond Gracie. And the referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson.
Back it up, back it up, back it up. You ready? Ready, fight!
Set for 3 5-minute rounds in Bellator's welterweight division. Naaman Gracie in the red gloves. Dave Marfone in his first Bellator appearance in the blue gloves. And Marfone told us that he could throw 100% power for 15 minutes. Of course, Naaman Gracie, I don't think you need to be a member of Mensa to know that he's going to do just this.
Exactly that. Great level change. Marfone did a good job of getting to the fence. Scrambled back to his feet.
Don't grab the cage.
Turning his back just enough.
Don't grab the cage.
Gracie's still all over him. That's what I mean with those long legs, that tall build. Very hard to escape those limbs. Marfone doing what he can.
Naaman Gracie trains with his uncle, Renzo Gracie. He is the cousin of Royce Gracie. Trains at Renzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Of course, Renzo Gracie, another luminary in mixed martial arts, and has done very well for himself in the Big Apple. Owning a gym is Marfone, trying to unload on Gracie as he's pinned up against the fence.
He's surprised to start taking him to his left to go for that outside trip. No, he doesn't go for it. Back to over-under position.
The man, you know, meeting Dave Marfone for the first time at the fighter meeting, I was struck by just how big of a welterweight he is.
Giant. Really strong.
Oh, good right hand. Gracie lands a right hand. Body cut, slips and falls, but Marfone not wanting to go into the jaws of the jiu-jitsu shark.
That's the confidence of Naaman Gracie. He says, I can throw with everything I got. If he takes me down, good.
Man, Marfone just whiffed that uppercut.
Collided heads there.
And Gracie, top position.
This is exactly where Naaman Gracie wants to be. Away from the fence. He's that slow burn Gracie Jiu-Jitsu style. One step at a time until you end up tapping.
Again, coming into this fight, Gracie has recorded 3 first-round submission victories. And talk about what is taking place right now, Jimmy, in terms of methodical pace, and now the full mount.
Great stuff, right into full mount. Oh, good job by Marfone to get his half guard back.
Just past the midpoint of the opening round. Still to come, the second of our double main events, a good old-fashioned grudge match. Chael Sonnen against Wanderlei Silva. But there's Marfone with the underhook and a knee right up the gut.
That's 2 times Naaman Gracie has gotten him down and not been able to really establish a great position. Briefly had the mount, but Marfone able to get his half guard back.
What a thrill it's got to be for both Marfone and Gracie. They got to be thanking the likes of Brent Primus, Matt Mitrione, Zach
for the craziness we have seen tonight.
Another lead right hand by Gracie, showcasing some of his striking.
You know, it's kind of an awkward style. It's a little strange, but he's able to find the target, especially with that right hand.
And of course, as you, oh wow, clipped up Marfone again with a right hand. And while the Gracies made their bones with Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, you have to constantly evolve. I mean, striking is such a crucial part of the sport. The days of single disciplines are long gone. Although, and Jimmy, you, I'm sure attest to this, we are still seeing as much as you have to be well-rounded, if you do specialize in a specific discipline, we're seeing a lot of people still succeed with that.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those things. That's kind of a split in mixed martial arts. People go, hey, if you're good at something, get better at that, make that your bread and butter, and add some extra tools to set it up. Other people are, hey, you want to get away from what you're best at, so you're great at everything. Guys like Damian Maia, for example, say, hey, I believe in my jiu-jitsu. Continue using it until somebody can stop me.
Against Mark Munoz, he tried to show off a little of his striking, and Gracie doing a good job of mixing it up. Here's Marfone trying, and does successfully thwart the takedown attempt by Gracie.
And that's what you want to do if you're Marfone. You want to stop the takedowns, make Gracie work for takedowns that aren't going to be successful. Make him spin gas on something that isn't working.
Final 15 seconds of the opening round. Bellator welterweight division action between the undefeated Naaman Gracie and the 5-2 Dave Marfone, was making his first appearance in a Bellator cage. Marfone going for a guillotine on Naaman Gracie. And Gracie saying,
Back to your corner, let's go. Ready, hey!
Well, and round 2. How'd you score it on your unofficial scorecard the first 5 minutes, Jimmy?
10-9 Gracie. Able to get a couple takedowns, land some strikes. Marfone was making him work for everything he gets.
Body kick by Gracie, and now double pumping the jab, trying to follow up with that right hand and swinging wildly with that right.
Now, Marfone has done a good job frustrating Gracie when it comes to the takedowns. He's only given up a couple. He's made him work. He hasn't been able to hold him down, but hasn't really found his own offense yet.
Marfone was a 2-time state finisher in high school. Comes to wrestling. Can you believe that Marfone has actually fought at 155 pounds as Gracie again gets stopped with a takedown?
I think 170.
Minute gone in the second. Now, you've been impressed with how Marfone's been able to stop the takedown. Whoa, but there's a go behind by Gracie. I was going to say, what can Marfone do to help his cause?
Yeah, he's not doing enough of that. Sometimes he's frustrating Gracie with the takedown, but it's been Gracie who's provided most of the offense in this match.
Do not impact that fight by grabbing that cage.
Hook in by Gracie, now taking the back of Marfone. Got the body triangle on Dave Marfone.
Don't you grab that.
Oh, wow. Nice escape attempt by Marfone, but
that's an all or nothing move. If you get the guy from back, you end up in deeper trouble, and right now he's in deeper trouble. Body triangle by Gracie. We've seen how deadly he can be from this position.
And we've seen people tap out due to the pressure exerted due to the body triangle. Especially in this position, Jimmy. You flatten out your opponent. Now he's looking for the rear naked choke. The Mataleo! The Lion Kill in Brazil. Will he be able to submit Dave Marfone? And he does! Naaman Gracie improving to 6-0 with, surprise, surprise, a submission victory.
You knew once he got a dominant position, Dave Marfone was in serious trouble. As soon as he got that back body triangle, this one was over.
And Naaman Gracie celebrating on top of the cage here in New York, where he trains. Here's our Blackheart Premium Spiced Rum Replay, the Bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Yeah, took his back against the fence. They got the body triangle on the ground. Look at it here. Arm underneath the chin. Look at that pressure. Those long legs extending the hips of Marfone. The key to the rear naked choke is opening your opponent up, putting pressure on his hips, and that's exactly what Naaman Gracie did. From now on, though, he's in the Shark Tank at 170. That's a monster division.
Nicely done.
Will he be the next great Gracie in MMA?
A long lineage. Naaman Gracie representing the family. And there is Royce Gracie smiling ear to ear as another member of that legendary family succeeds here at MSG. Naaman Gracie received his Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt when he was 22 years of age, the same age that Marfone started training in MMA. And there's Enzo Gracie, always lighting up the room with that smile. Ultra charismatic, and we're gonna make it official now with Michael C. Williams.
27 seconds into round number 2. The winner by submission, still undefeated, Naaman Gracie.
I'm here with your winner, Naaman Gracie. The first round, got a couple of takedowns, couldn't hold him down, was able to get back to his feet. You landed some good punches. Did you know you were gonna get that good position?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I want to dedicate this victory to my friend, Max Magar. Max, you are the true warrior, my brother. He's been fighting cancer. He tapped cancer out. Now he finished with the chemo. Brother, this victory is for you. You are the true warrior.
Moving forward at 170 pounds, very deep division. Is that where you want to go for the title and represent the Gracie family in Bellator?
Of course. I'm here for this. Thank you, everybody from Renzo Gracie Academy that came out. Thank you. Meu amor, eu te amo.
Let's give it up for Naaman Gracie, ladies and gentlemen.
For the final time tonight, the tale of the tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
Look at the records. Both guys extremely experienced, but they need this fight. Wanderlei Silva wants revenge. Chael Sonnen wants to erase the taste of his last fight against Tito Ortiz.
Here with the official introductions of Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miller Lite presents Bellator NYC from Madison Square Garden tonight, live on pay-per-view. The time has come for the night's second main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. And now, introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 205.8 pounds, invariably outspoken, the 3-time world title challenger returns to the Bellator cage with 28 professional victories, 15 defeats, and 1 draw. Hailing from West Lynn, Oregon, presenting Chael, the American Gangster, Sonnen. And across the cage, his adversary fights out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in exactly the same, 205.8 pounds. The always thrilling former champion tonight makes his much anticipated Bellator debut, bringing an outstanding professional record with 35 victories, 12 defeats, and 1 draw. Hailing from Curitiba, Bahia, Brazil, introducing Wanderlei, the Axe-Murderer, Silva. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Big John McCarthy.
Gentlemen, we've gone over the rules in the back. I want you to protect yourself at all times. You obey my commands at all times. I want you to fight hard and fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck to both of you.
Yeah, right.
I don't know
Big
why
John.
he even said that. Gotta have formality.
Yeah. Big John McCarthy overseeing this, the second of our 2 main events. It's time to do their talking.
You ready?
With their fists, their feet. And Chael Sonnen, Wanderlei Silva, grudge match, years in the making. No surprise, Sonnen exploding for the takedown, and he gets it early, Jimmy.
We knew we'd see it fast. It was in the first 10 seconds.
Ground and pound by Sonnen in the opening 30 seconds of this, our main event, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division.
This is what he's great at. Ground and pound in the dominant position. He's laying some great right hands.
We talked about potential cage corrosion for Silva coming off the longest layoff of his more than 20-year career, 1,574 days, Jimmy. And right now, he is in trouble.
He's feeling every single one of those days right now.
And
Chael Sonnen's all over him.
Dropping right hands. Now, something that may be overlooked because of his ferocious striking, Wanderlei Silva is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Jim.
Yeah, he is, and you can see him kind of angling for the arm. But the pressure that Chael Sonnen is putting on him is not making submissions an option right now. Silva's doing everything he can to just stay in this fight, but right now, Sonnen all over him.
Well, Chael Sonnen said, coming off the loss to Ortiz, that he was defeated by the worst fighter there is. That just makes him even worse. So not only is he looking to redeem himself, but of course he wants to put an end to this rivalry that has been years in the making.
Now, Wanderlei had to know at some point he was going to be in this position, on his back, trying to survive.
Maybe not this early.
Yeah, maybe not this early, but tests your mentality. You start thinking, look, I know I'm going to have to deal with this eventually.
Old school can opener.
Yeah, going for the can opener.
Watch your fingers. There you go.
Problem is you can give up an arm right there if the guy can angle his hips, but he lets it go.
So Chael Sonnen content in just mauling Wanderlei Silva up against the fence, dropping short, slashing elbows. And again, Wanderlei Silva, 40 years of age, the oldest competitor here tonight, slightly older than Fedor Emelianenko, who we saw get stopped early by Matt Mitrione in the first of our double main events.
So far, this is a wipeout halfway through the first round. Chael Sonnen all over him. Wanderlei's got to figure out something. He's able to push away and get up.
Up to his feet. With 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the opening round, but Sonnen stuck to him like Velcro.
Don't expect him to give Wanderlei Silva any space at all. He's in Greco country right now. This is where he loves to fight. In close, dirty box. Now Silva can angle away, and he does.
And Silva just landed a right hand, Sonnen from southpaw. Silva creating distance, Sonnen gets the right hand by Silva. And now it's Silva's turn to be on top.
Talk about a reversal. The legs went right out from under Chael Sonnen.
The best of times and worst of times for each of these two veterans here in round one. 90 seconds left in the first round.
And 30 seconds ago, it looks like it might be the end for Wanderlei Silva, and then he comes back.
25 of Silva's 35 victories have come via former knockout. Sonnen, good job tripping the hips. And now Sonnen with the takedown. Silva looking for the guillotine choke.
Now he's able to get around the guard. Without the guard, he's not going to get that guillotine.
And now Sonnen from half guard.
Now lock up the Kimura. He's trying to isolate the wrist.
Final minute of the first round.
For a second, he's going to transition to full mount. Wasn't able to get it. This is the point in the fight. Near the end of the first round, those emotions burn away, and it's all about your training, your cardio, your technique.
At the end of the day, it is still a fight. You can't fight with words.
Exactly.
And Sonnen hoping to punctuate his performance in the opening round. He started well, suffered a bit of trouble in the middle part of the round, and now looking to close out the round in dominant position. 5 of Sonnen's 28 victories have been via submission, but he doesn't want to submit Wanderlei Silva. He wants to knock him out.
Yeah, but I think at this point, he'll take whatever he can get. He felt that power.
Yeah.
If he can submit him, he'll take it. Make no mistake.
Tito Ortiz fired up about the action.
You got clipped, pussy.
Tito Ortiz
How do you really feel, Tim? How do you really feel about it?
You got clipped, and even on pay-per-view, I won't say the other word.
Back and forth. You know, I think the over-under on the double leg was 15 seconds. I think it'd be 10 seconds. Over 15 was you're going to make some money, but Chael Sonnen, beautiful ground and pound, powerful, great right hands, changing it up, going body head, and Wanderlei hanging on. Thought he might get a fight finishing strike there, but look at this.
Oh,
right over the ear, took away the balance of Chael Sonnen. Wasn't a sharp shot, just an overhand. Look at that, bing. Not even turned over that sharp, but anything around the ear, your equilibrium completely goes.
So an interesting opening 5 minutes as the party continues here at MSG. People having a fantastic time, an amazing crowd here at Madison Square Garden for Bellator's biggest event ever as Sonnen comes in the attack. He clipped Wanderlei, and now they're swinging for the fences at Madison Square Garden, and Sonnen, the smart thing, changes levels, takes him down.
That left hand hurt him.
How'd you score the opening 5, Jimmy?
I had it 10-9 Chael Sonnen, just in dominant position longer, but he's in the guillotine now. Can Wanderlei finish? He would love to finish this via submission. Almost as satisfying as a knockout. Chael's doing everything he can. The one thing about the guillotine, if you don't get it, man, it costs you a lot of gas. Wanderlei always breathing heavy.
Submitted by Tito Ortiz via rear naked choke at Bellator 170. This past January, and these two veterans both may be taking a breather, referee imploring them to improve position.
One thing is Silva might be waiting for a stand-up here. Knows he can't finish the guillotine, but maybe looking for a stand-up.
And already breathing with his mouth open.
Very, very heavy.
So a stalemate. And this is not the mannequin challenge, Jimmy.
Kind of looks like that right now. Sonnen is in trouble. Can't pull out his left hand.
Is he even attempting?
Yeah. You see him shaking. He's trying to rip that hand off and able to pull his head out. So far, he can't do it.
And because it is a submission attempt, really the referee is he can't stand him up.
Yeah. Hard to do that. Wanderlei at this point just hanging on.
And Sonnen attacked. Wow. I know the crowd will celebrate that. Tito Ortiz. Ortiz is shutting instructions of Wanderlei Silva. And on cue, Ortiz said, watch out for the double leg, and Sonnen explodes again for the power double.
Anybody could have said that. Everybody watching is saying the same thing. I know Tito knows wrestling, but you know Chael's going to go for the double leg.
And now ground and pound by Chael Sonnen. 2:45 left in the second round.
So far, virtually no sprawl by Wanderlei Silva. No answer to that double leg. They've been easy every time.
Sonnen continues to try to punish Wanderlei Silva from top position, wide base in the close guard. Silva trying to control his posture. Now cuffing him on the ears with a palm strike. A little pancrase for you there, Jimmy.
Old school.
Got to give a shout out to the pancrase vets, including Frank Shamrock, who's in attendance tonight, and I know El Guapo Basrun is watching at home. There really sums it up, doesn't it, Jimmy? This card is my everything, all of it right here. I love you.
It's been crazy, man. It's been a night where you never know what to expect. It's all happened. a double knockdown.
Wow.
Then comes back to knock out Fedor.
Zach Freeman.
Yeah, every fight.
Brent Primus. We saw Lorenz Larkin losing his Bellator MMA debut to welterweight champion Douglas Lima. By the way, Ryan Bader, new Bellator light heavyweight champion to close out Bellator 180. And we will be hearing from the new light heavyweight champ still to come. Sorry, Jimmy.
Now, this is the problem that the Wanderlei's had. He hasn't been able to create space. That closed guard position, he can sometimes keep Chael Sonnen close to him, but can't push off and really get space.
But the positioning
kept so much weight on.
Right, and this does behoove Sonnen, though, to keep Silva there against the fence.
Exactly.
No real estate. And he's content to just keep peppering away here in the final minute of round number 2.
The punches don't quite have the sting that they had in the opening round. But Chael still positionally dominant.
These two got into a full-fledged fight on the set of The Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3. Sonnen even said that Silva attacked him in front of his wife. So, I mean, there have been many hostilities leading up to this fight here tonight.
Come on, let's work.
Referee McCarthy imploring them to work.
You know where Wanderlei wants this, back on the feet, where maybe he can land that left hook again. He's hurt Chael a couple of times, but hasn't been able to keep the fight standing.
Now Sonnen continues to stymie Wanderlei Silva. Round 2.
Wanderlei, you gotta get yourself out there, baby.
This has been the story of the fight. Wanderlei Silva able to hurt Chael Sonnen on the feet. Has rocked him more than once, but Chael Sonnen tenacious with the takedown. Wanderlei Silva hasn't been able to keep this fight where he wants it because of that double leg. Good penetration on the shot and virtually no takedown defense to speak of from Wanderlei Silva. It's been easy every time.
Ready? Get up.
So it comes down to this, the final 5 minutes of the second of our double main event here at Bellator's debut at Madison Square Garden, Bellator NYC, and Wanderlei Silva, sense of urgency, the knee in the right hand, and again, Sonnen exploding for the takedown. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Don't expect him to do anything different as long as it's working.
Chael Sonnen looking to move to full mount. Silva shrimping his hips and now has half butterfly guard. But what does Silva have to do? I know easier said than done, Jimmy, but what can Silva do to reverse his fortunes here?
In those brief half butterfly guard positions, needs to push off and get space. He's been too comfortable keeping Chael closer. Works from a lot of close guard.
Look at that stat, Jimmy.
That tells the whole story. Too much pressure by Chael Sonnen.
So Sonnen looking to bounce back from an ignominious defeat in his Bellator debut. Wanderlei Silva looking to succeed after the longest layoff of his career in his Bellator debut, but he's looking up at Chael Sonnen now. Off his back, a minute and a half gone.
Exactly where he didn't want to be. Don't expect Chael Sonnen to wear out in this position. This is his bread and butter.
Now Silva trying to defend what appears to be maybe an attempt at an arm lock by Sonnen. No, Sonnen just content to continue reigning in the right hands.
Yeah, he will not give up this position for anything. He won't risk any submission that might get him out of this top position. He won't do it. Top, play it safe.
It looks like he's going for the double wrist lock, maybe an attempt at a Kimura here. Nope.
Yep. He's got the lock. He's got to get around the half guard to use it. He couldn't do it.
Silva just needs to explode his hips somehow again. Been through so many wars, so many miles on the odometer.
Is that explosive ability still there? So far, we haven't seen it.
That's the midpoint of the final round. And again, Sonnen fishing for that Kimura. Silva desperately trying to squirm out from underneath Chael Sonnen's blanket.
Chael's a veteran. He knows how much activity level is required to keep this fight on the ground. He's going to stay right there. Punch just enough.
One thing I'm a little surprised at, Jimmy, is that even here, that Sonnen is not maybe trash talking more. Like he really is, once the bell goes, focused on the fight.
Yeah, I think he's a little tired to be talking and fighting at the same time. It requires more energy than he has right now. This is hard work.
And he is desperately working for that Kimura.
Wanderlei just holding on. Everything about his posture, everything about his guard, he's just trying to stay close.
90 seconds left in this fight. Wanderlei putting his hands up, pleading with the referee, but I mean, Sonnen's doing work now, full mount.
He has a minute 15 left to get something done. But Chael Sonnen has just been tenacious with his top game.
Let's work to a finish. Let's go.
Coming up on the final 60 seconds of this main event. Hey, don't forget, Bellator will return to Thackerville with a pair of power-punching lightweight contenders. Derek Campos, Brandon Gertz will throw down in a rematch for a spot atop one of our most stacked divisions. Bellator MMA, Friday, July 14th, 9 p.m. live on Spike. Final 45 seconds of the fight.
Now he's looking to Big John for help, but Wanderlei's got to help himself. He has to create some space that he hasn't been able to do throughout this entire fight.
Well, Chael Sonnen able to impose his game plan on Wanderlei Silva. And the clock continues to tick away. Final 20 seconds. And it very much, as the shoulder strikes from Sonnen, looks like Sonnen is going to improve to 1-1 in Bellator MMA, and it appears he has gotten the best of the axe murderer, Wanderlei Silva.
That's a very frustrated Wanderlei Silva. I would even say disgusted.
Well, but to be fair to Chael,
Chael did a great job.
So
Chael did a great job.
Wanderlei Silva can, maybe work on the takedown defense a little more.
Yeah, because he could not stop any of those double legs. That was the story of the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to your three judges. Your first judge, Sal D'Amato, scores the fight 30-26, while judges Jeff Mullen and Dave Torelli both see the fight the same 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Chael, the American Gangster, Sonnen.
Can't be surprised. Unanimous decision win for Chael Sonnen. Here's Jimmy.
Chael, I know you didn't get the finish you wanted, but a dominant performance for the bad guy. How does it feel?
You know, I look around this arena, and aside from soon-to-be world champion Niskowski, all I can think to myself is, God damn, I hate New York.
Oh, whoa.
It looked like the bad blood is still there, Chael. Did you feel it in the fight?
I made Tito Ortiz tap out in less than a minute. I got Wanderlei Silva out of here in the main event. And when it comes to you, Fedor Emelianenko, I only need one shot. Now, you asked me for an autograph in the back. I patted you on your doughy head and told you I'd think about it. But I've made my decision. I'll give you that signature, but it's going to be on the bottom of a contract, and you're going to find out, just like Wanderlei and Tito, you never piss off a gangster.
You just heard it. Chael Sonnen, ladies and gentlemen.